Let's go. Woman out of Philly, so you know it get really wrong. Know you gon' relate to everything when you hear us talk. Came up at a city where you learn from every single scar. Cherish all our wins, cause we not a stranger to the loss. I was just a girl, just focused on surviving. I done grown up in womanhood and started thriving. Here we cherish love, marriage, commitment. City where it's brotherly love, don't want division. Maturity is something I want, then I'm consistent. Something I want, I'm gon' get it. I learned to have intention and movement with purpose. Learn it if it costs you your peace, it isn't worth it. Honoring the lessons that turn into legacy. The past is what made me a more for what's ahead of me. Walking in alignment, every step is meant to be. Womanhood and love, it's not a trend, it's the recipe.
Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. Happy Saturday, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you tap in during the live or you catch the replay, I figured I'd go live on this Saturday morning. It's a little dreary outside, but I said, let me go ahead. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you. And I really enjoyed your live last night. And there was a something that you had mentioned during your live um regarding, interview and being called back. And I had a discussion with someone earlier yesterday about that. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit, just from my personal experiences being an interviewer and an interviewee. Um, and if you stay, that's great. If you have to go, that's fine too. I appreciate folks that come in and out or catch the replay. So the first thing I wanted to discuss was my new intro that super producer T.M.K Media created for me. And I've watched it so many times, and TMK, Bombay, we've never talked, never spoken, but the way he was able to capture like me and what I'm trying to do with this channel, it was just excellent. I mean, to a T. Shout out again. I really, truly love this intro, and I mean, even playing it, and of course, I'm going to play it again. Um, and not only just because it's about me and for me, but he just captured me. And I think I only gave him like 3 or 4 once for my intro. I wanted Mrs. Murph, captured in it. The city of Philadelphia, because I rep Philly all day, every day. For the music, I wanted, late 80s, early 90s. And I just think that the music he created is perfect. And I have to say that, when I was thinking about the type of music I wanted, I was thinking like early Tribe Called Quest. Their first album, and even the Low End Theory, their second album. And I mean, TMK just nailed it perfectly. And I think the only other thing I said was like between 40-50 seconds or something like that. I didn't want it to be long and drawn out, but excuse me, it was perfect. I cannot thank him enough. I've fallen in love with it. If it's possible to fall in love with a thing, I definitely fell in love with it. And and let me just play it one more time before I get into just the other topic that I wanted to go over. And I'm sure this isn't going to be a long live, but just doing, my contribution to our quote unquote boring sector.
Let's go. Woman out of Philly, so you know it get really wrong. Know you gon' relate to everything when you hear us talk. Came up at a city where you learn from every single scar. Cherish all our wins, cause we not a stranger to the loss. I was just a girl, just focused on surviving. I done grown up in womanhood and started thriving. Here we cherish love, marriage, commitment. City where it's brotherly love, don't want division. Maturity is something I want, then I'm consistent. Something I want, I'm gon' get it. I learned to have intention and movement with purpose. Learn it if it costs you your peace, it isn't worth it. Honoring the lessons that turn into legacy. The past is what made me a more for what's ahead of me. Walking in alignment, every step is meant to be. Womanhood and love, it's not a trend, it's the recipe.
You can't tell me that's not dope. That is just a dope ass intro. I love it. Thanks again, TMK. Um, and thank you for stopping in. Make a change. My sister from another mister. My opinion. Happy Saturday, Buttercup. Miss T. Pre. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support. And so, let's not continue talking about me and my dope ass intro. So the other thing I was want to touch on is interviews. Um, from being on the side of the interviewer. Hey, Slanda and UT, thank you for stopping in. Which I've done a buttload of interviews, interviewing people, and also from the standpoint of the interviewee. And so first, and didn't look anything up. This is just based on my experiences and some things that have worked for me. So as an interviewer, and sometimes hey Joe, thanks for stopping in. A beard of another color. So when I go into when I prepare for an interview, the first thing I'll do is look at the person's resume. I know that sometimes folks have will tend to embellish their skills or whatever, so that doesn't really bother me. I'll look at how they've put it together, their wording, and again depending on what the position. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Hey, Buttercup.
Hello, Buttercup. Now you were talking about. Let me do Stephanie first, my little honey bunny. Um, did someone say HR?
HR. Hey, HR. Right on time.
I was a tad late, so I'm already. You don't have us in front of everybody, so I'm gonna give my reprimand after.
Mean or what?
Reprimand. I'm a little late. You said 11, but I forgot it's 10 here. My
Well, I
mind.
said I said it for. I actually did it for 11:15. It's okay.
I was up and
It's
then I
okay.
looked
You're
at.
here.
Okay, I am. Okay, my love. Hello, darling. Hello, my bunnies in the chat. Okay, let's get serious about work.
This is it's well, it could be taken seriously, but
That's all.
just some tips. I don't like to tell people what to do. I
Hmm.
offer tips, suggestions, advice, whatever.
I think it's a
Um,
great idea.
yeah. So as I was saying, looking over the resume. I'm from a mindset that everyone is teachable, meaning if they don't have the exact skills that we're looking for or that a company is looking for, um, if they have some sort of experience. Hey, Propane, thank you for stopping in. If they have some sort of work experience, everybody is teachable slash trainable as long as they're willing to put in the effort and the work. So while I will have my set of questions, and sometimes it's just me doing the interview, sometimes there will be an interview panel. I'll have my set of questions, but I like to start an interview. You'll hear me say this 1,000 times. I love to talk. May not want to hear myself talk, but I love to talk. So, in loving to talk, I enjoy.
What did you say? I'm sorry. Did you say you love to talk? I would.
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
wouldn't know
know it.
nothing about
I
that,
wouldn't
right?
know it. Not at all. But go ahead, darling.
And yep, T.M.K Phillies in the building all day, every day. I'm sorry. Let me get back with the focus. I enjoy having conversations because you can learn a lot um about a person by conversation, whether it's, the actual words that they're saying, body language, you know, uh, some people prefer doing virtual interviews. I prefer doing in-person interviews because I like to get a vibe of the person. And a person can tell you anything. Um but some a lot of times you can tell when somebody's um telling the lying or embellishing. Hey Mikey, thank you for tuning in. um a lot of times I find that candidates will be oh, here's Propane. Philly in the building, what's up? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. And I'm gonna get a beating because I didn't put my overlay up either time. Hey Ray, thank you for stopping in. The Propane, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
I can't hear him either. And
I'm
hello,
gonna drop
everyone
you
coming in.
down.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Merch sector. The boringness of boring.
The boringest of boring, but it's okay. Your boring voice, boring content. It is what it is. Um, where was I at? Um, oh yeah, I like to get a vibe from people. Um, and just to go back to the intro again, you know, TMK was able to capture my vibe, and we've never met. So just from, and I'm assuming he can tell me. I'm assuming he picked up my vibe just from, being in the chat, maybe being on a panel, maybe from, a couple of the videos that I've done. But I mean, it just fits me to a T. Excuse me. So I'm sorry, let me drink some water. This lingering cough, man. So, getting the vibe from the candidate. A lot of times, candidates will be nervous, and a nervous candidate is more apt to give a horrible interview than someone that's relaxed. So I like to do a little chit chat. I tend to be a little early for the interviews, Nine times out of 10, the candidate is early. And, I'll chit chat with them, how's your days going? What you think about our Eagles, whatever's going on or whatever, just as a way of getting them to relax. Um, there was one woman that I was interviewing, and there was actually it was thanks propane. I appreciate you. I couldn't hear you, but thank you. I appreciate you. Philly always going to be in the building. Um, it was about five of us on the interview panel, and this woman was so nervous. You could see her shaking. I mean, she was shaking. And when
Wow.
she was speaking, her voice was shaking. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. We're not even going to start this interview just yet. I said, are you nervous, honey? And she said, very much so. I said, just because I have teeth doesn't mean I'm going to bite you.
Oh wow.
I said, I've eaten breakfast already, so I'm not hungry. And she laughed. And I mean, just that little bit. And me asking, what did she do before, coming to the interview? That was my way of helping her to relax and, asking her questions about herself and having a conversation. Now, the other folks on the interview panel were just sitting there looking because I'm just having a conversation
Hmm.
with this woman. But even like with us having our conversation, when we looked at when we started the interview and started to go through our questions, she had answered some of them.
Hmm.
And for me, you're right. People do have interview anxiety.
You was right
Um,
there in my head. Excuse me, honey, because I was getting ready to say I was waiting for you to break a little bit so I could say, "Hey, get Joe's
mhm.
interview," because definitely anxiety, definitely anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, chime in because I'm not really looking at the chat per se.
I got you.
So feel free to chime in.
Okay, I got you,
But
darling.
but but I was able to get her to relax, and
Hmm.
so with her being relaxed, she had an excellent interview. And the position we were hiring for um wasn't under my umbrella or whatever. And so I just, offered my opinions on her and the other
Hmm.
candidates, but I
Right.
left the decisions up to the folks that she would actually be working under, and she did get hired. So
Good. Good.
shout out to her. Um,
I have a question. Do you
yes.
find do you find that most people who are nervous usually end up being the best candidates,
Um,
or
um,
maybe not the
I'm
best,
I'm
but
I'm
because
I'm
nervous?
gonna say not maybe 50-50.
Okay.
But what I will say, a lot of times that candidates that come in on some arrogant, on some arrogance, tend to do horrible interviews, because they know everything. They cut you off, and I'm not looking for this, and this is just me. I'm not looking for somebody that's gonna come in and try to be, have that takeover spirit.
Mm,
Even if they're going to be coming in as a manager or a director or a supervisor.
I got you.
Um, and everybody isn't a natural leader. Truth. I
You know
mean
my you
that's
know my
truth.
line. We have people that are followers that should be leaders, and we have leaders that should be followers. I definitely think that.
Right. And you will have folks in higher positions that just want, and I know I'm getting a little off topic regarding interviews, but that like to bark orders. They want to talk down to their. They want to okay. They want to talk down to their employees. They don't want to provide any training, this, that, and the other. And then they wonder why people don't want to stay and why their unit or their company has a high turnover rate. Um, my that this is how I handle staff, whether they're under me, over me, beside me, or whatever. I treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody how I want to be treated. Um, with my staff, I say that we're a group of individuals that work as a team. Um, the conversation I may have with one staff is not the conversation I may have with another staff. The needs of one person may not be the needs of another person. I am very accommodating um, to my staff because I know they always go above and beyond in their tasks and whatever I ask them to do. Um, some of us are natural leaders, some of us aren't. Even before I started managing and supervisor, I think I had mentioned some time ago that I've done seminars and trainings, and I used to provide trainings to new supervisors, having no supervisor experience of my own, I'll say. But we've all worked for people, and there are some supervisors that were great and some that suck. So I absorbed a lot from the supervisors that I had. And for the supervisors that I thought were horrible leaders, that there's always a lesson in everything. They taught me what not to do. So anyway, getting back to the interviewing as an interviewer. Um, whether the candidate is nervous or not, you can get a vibe from them in the conversation, even if we're talking about the Eagles or we're talking about something in or around Philadelphia, just getting that vibe. And my instinct is usually spot on. It's usually spot on, and just getting that vibe from the folks. So, and just to say, some people are nervous because they really need a job, and they feel like, man, if I mess this up, what am I going to do? And I, try to tell people, just be yourself. Relax, you're not going to get a beating. You're not going to be, we're not cannibals. We're not going to boil you in some stew and have a party.
You can walk out. It'll be all right.
Yeah. And, even after the interview's over, I always make it a point to walk the person to the door just to have that additional conversation with them, and to make sure to tell them to have a good day or whatever, so that they leave the interview feeling good.
Okay, well, going on the opposite side of that and being a person who has been interviewed and been
Mm,
interviewed by people in different ways and been walked to a door before, I can say that does make a difference whether you get the job or not.
yeah,
It still helps for the next interview you go on. So they're gonna get something from you whether they get the position or not.
yeah. And sometimes, even if the person isn't hired for the position we were looking to fill that moment, if something else comes up, that I think that candidate would be a good fit for, I'll have the interview set up for them to come in again.
And that's why, like, if I talk to you and you told me something like that, call me back, say, hey, I didn't have this position, but I have this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's just sparking something else. So
Yep.
yeah, that shows a lot about your character, my love.
Yes. And
Has to do with
one
that intro.
thing.
I'm sorry. I think it has to do with that intro you had. Something about, it told a lot about you.
And so, what the one thing that stuck out to me, and I don't know if you were here, my opinion when I mentioned this earlier, I was in Lisa J. Stock's chat last night. She did a
Hmm.
live, and she had just mentioned being overqualified for a position and not
Yes,
being
indeed.
hired.
Been
Now,
there.
and I wanted to chime in, but that really wasn't what the content was. So I said, well, I had talked about, interviews earlier, so I'll just incorporate that
Hmm.
in today's live. Um, some employers are, when they're looking to hire someone, they're trying to find someone that they think will be there for the long run.
Exactly.
So if they see a resume that has skills and experience that are far beyond what the position is for, they're thinking is, well, this person, number one, if we offer this person a position, they're going to turn it down. Secondly, if we do offer and they accept, they're going to be on the next thing smoking. They're not going to be here. But
Hmm.
one thing that they should understand is that people are applying for and accepting interviews for a reason. You know, they
It's something
they
about that person.
and I would say 9 times out of 10, the person wouldn't have accepted the interview if they weren't interested in being hired. So,
You got a few
eh,
comments left.
oh, I'm sorry. Let
Mikey
me
wants
go.
us to read. Yeah, Mikey wants us to read to him. Unadulterated truth. He
Okay,
said when
I'm
you're reading
sorry.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So first
When,
off, let me
yeah,
do this. And I know I'm way behind.
it's
I'm
okay. It's okay.
sorry.
You're getting the information out, and I'm here just to do the other stuff. You good?
I had to take some classes, right? Does that mean I need to go up further? Or let
Um,
let his business stay his business? All right, this was when Propane had been up, but his mic, I couldn't hear him. TMK, I have met Mr. Murphy. He gave me some pointers. He said if you do it wrong, she will slap you. So I was more motivated to zero in on her spirit.
isn't that what we said? Isn't that what we said?
We did.
Whose window he in?
But I will say I had 100% trust in TMK that whatever he did, I was gonna love. Propane, did you know? And, oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. Like he took my voice so the rapping, in the video is quote unquote me. Oh my god, I love it.
Don't be acting like it's a question. I listened to it like
I
15
can't
times.
get
I was like,
enough.
I hear the accent.
I know.
She playing girl. I told you I had it on repeat. That's why I keep telling. And excuse me, let me get my plug in here. TNK in my red love and sunshine intro outro. I don't care how y'all do it. Just let me know. I'll hit you up, and you hit me up, and we can exchange funds, extorting you, whatever. I'm using you, whatever you want to call it. But I do need your skills, darling. Thank you.
Okay. Let me have truth chilling. Will Smith, oh Bilal, telling everything. Okay,
Yeah,
Joe.
I got his breakfast done, so he's good now.
Oops. What did I do? I hope I didn't. What did I do?
What's wrong, hon?
I have done a lot of leadership training. Yep.
A lot of
So,
people, a lot of
so
us
have
have it,
I.
and folks don't
Mm-hmm.
understand that we may know what we talking about just because we always in a
Yeah.
chill,
I
relaxed,
like
Ebonic kind of,
listening to
you
you.
know,
Can't read.
you know.
Okay. Oh, he
He
said I like listening to you. You can read me a book.
Mikey
Oh,
Mice.
can you read me a book?
He wants us to read a book.
Yeah, y'all better catch the books that we be passing back and forth.
Now,
when
see, there you
someone
go.
is when someone is relaxed in an interview, you get their best self. Yes. And I don't have a problem with confidence, but arrogance and
There is a difference.
cockiness,
Yeah.
kind of rub me the wrong way.
I call it walking dick first. I know
Yeah.
if since I said and you'll see a dude, it's like oh he lead with his dick, and I call it walking dick first, and that's that COCKY arrogant. I can't stand guys like that. That
Yes.
just oh my
And
god,
so
that turns me off so
and
much.
Slander says, shout out to you for sharing that last night. Somebody actually knew what they were talking about.
I wonder would it
Shots
have to do with
fired.
stocks and trading? Oh my.
Yes, Lisa has a lot of knowledge that she's willing to share. So I've been enjoying her content.
I guess we got another sector take coming with you on there now, honey.
I need to drop a dog with my wake up voice.
I don't get it.
I would love to hear you tell old stories, history. Oh my goodness, is that what I sound like?
Don't you say it. If you say it, I'ma drop. I'ma drop.
I'm not going to say it, but you know where I was about to go with it.
I know you was. Look, let me go and put it in the chat.
I've never liked it, but it is what it is.
The switch is still on the wall.
I
Don't
know.
make me
I'm
go
not
over
going to
there.
say it.
All right.
So
I'm just gonna put
anyway,
it in the chat.
I think I mentioned yeah, employers that are looking for people that are gonna stay around.
Right.
And my advice for folks doing interviews, um don't be afraid or shy to ask, the candidate, you know, where do they see themselves in 5 years, you know? And when
Um,
you're
I,
looking,
I'm sorry. I saw a
go
joke
ahead.
and it said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And the dude said, having your job. So if someone responded like that, well, would that be funny and kind of, what would that do?
Oh, if somebody said that,
Yeah, if they say, being in your job.
I would probably stand up and say, "Hey, if you can feel it, maybe I can retire today."
There you go.
I make a joke of it.
Okay, so when do I start? Because I'm like in the interview right now. When do I start? Because I know you own your own. Because hey, I need some
and,
residual income.
and I have had people say, I think I did really, did really great, and I tell them, "Oh, you did awesome in the interview," and they'll
Hmm.
say, "Okay, great. When do I start?" And I said, well, we still have other candidates that we have to interview, but you'll be hearing, from us, within the next week or so.
And I would
I
have
may,
said, well,
I definitely, I don't make any guarantees during the interview because the next person coming in, um, I could feel, or the panel could feel is a better fit. So I don't give because I would hate for somebody to have me thinking that I'm getting a job and then don't get a call, right?
girl, that like everything I done went through yesterday. You already know I don't want to hear no crap
Yeah.
like that.
And I will say that just in my
Honey, Joe's
experience.
backstage.
Oh, okay. Hey, Joe.
Hey,
Hello,
honey bunny.
hi, I came up here to get an interview.
What you
Well, I'm ready
interviewing
to go
for,
now.
dear?
I'm interviewing for that job. I'm here to I'm here to take naps.
I can't with her mess.
Nappers are wonderful. And I know, and I'm gonna tell you, every day, like when I'm working 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be like, Dag, I could go for a nap right now.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
really?
I could go for a nap right now.
But instead of taking your nap, what do you do?
Yep.
Yeah,
Be on the phone because apparently I like talking more than I like taking naps.
evidently.
Um, and Joe, did you want to add anything before I give tips to folks that would be interview candidates?
Oh no, I was coming up here because the when you were talking about the difference between a leader and a manager,
Okay.
and so doing a lot of
Itchy
leadership,
gates.
a lot of leadership, training and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders typically lead alongside
Yep.
their employee, like
Mm-hmm.
they're walking alongside of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing and saying, and they're saying what they do, versus a manager
Mm-hmm.
that just sits behind an office, and barks orders, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
and feels the need to not really don't know exactly what the role that the employee plays and don't understand the day to day.
Right.
So a lot of times you see a lot of, especially, bigger corporations, they try to do more leadership. They also uses things like, and I don't know if you use this on when you interview people, they
Mm-hmm.
learn people's personalities.
Hey, Clark, Clark.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you dealing with a director? Are you dealing with a comedian? Are you dealing with a thinker? Are you dealing
Right.
with a person that's a feeler? And
Right.
so a lot of these jobs, what they'll do is they'll kind of give out these little surveys and stuff to try to figure out how you fall into
Mm-hmm.
what category you fall in, but at the same time you learn how to deal with how to handle a feeler, a thinker, a
Mm-hmm.
director. So like me per se, and people probably don't know this about me, that I'm actually a director.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm also a thinker and a comedian. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm less likely to be a feeler. However, I learned how to know who I'm dealing with and how to adjust to
That
who I'm
part.
dealing with.
Exactly. And when I was mentioning, the staff is, group of, individuals that work as a group. Um, Another thing is everyone doesn't learn the same. Everyone doesn't I don't want to say comprehend. But pick up. If that sounds a little better. Some people work better independently. Some people need that nudge or whatever.
Well,
So
you
I
can say that, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I
That's
always
okay.
do.
That's okay.
Some people are they are hands-on learners,
Right.
right? And some
Mm-hmm.
people can learn by just reading,
Right. Mm-hmm.
so some people has to, you have to walk them through steps, and then some people can just learn by reading. I like to do both.
Mm-hmm.
I like for you to show me, because people do things different ways, but I
Yeah.
also am able to learn just by reading and following steps and things like that.
Yes.
But it's really good that this, for you to talk about your interviewing processes and how you go through interviewing. I love the idea that you always try to, break the ice, which is
Mm-hmm.
something that works very well with people. Is that in
Yes.
before you do the interview, do that, break the ice. Let's,
Mm-hmm.
let me understand who you are, and then let's
Yeah.
get down to those questions.
Yeah, I
Right.
absolutely agree with that. And like I said, when
Mm-hmm.
I've had interviews, when I've had the interviewer do that, it put me at ease because I do have anxiety a lot. I do, especially when I'm getting ready to take a test or an interview. So that I can tell from experience, yes, that definitely helps.
And I'll say, like, I have a very relaxed work environment. I
Hmm.
allow people to do them. My motto is, as long as the work gets done, I pretty much don't care what you do. And my team definitely works as a team. They work great, on their individual assignments. They work great on shared responsibilities, and they also, quite a few of them have become friends, and had carry that friendship, outside of the office, because that's just the type of environment. I know that's the type of environment I work best in, so I provide that for my staff. Now, some years ago, interviewing someone, and she said from the door that she likes to work independently. She doesn't do well with groups. When people are taking their breaks, they like to stand around and talk. But for her, she likes to review the work that she's done already. She doesn't like people, to hang around, talk, this, that, and the other. Now, while I know she would have been able to do the work, she wasn't a good fit for the work environment. So it wasn't a win. It wouldn't be a win for her, and it wouldn't have been a win for, her coworkers. And I believe that, when you're bringing somebody onto the team, it should be a win for that person and a win for, for us. And she would have been miserable. Her co-workers would have been miserable. And I respected her honesty, and that's why I say I like for people, get them relaxed, let them tell you about themselves. And, and she would have been excellent at the actual work, but for the work environment, it would have been bad for all parties involved. Any thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, yeah, you got people that like me, I typically work independently, but that's because of the type of job that I have.
Right.
I don't have an issue with working in groups, or working alongside of other people. For me, everything is about time management.
Mm. Yeah.
Like you have to have those
Yeah.
basics. You have to have
Yeah.
those basic skills like
Yeah.
time management, communication, open
Hmm.
communication, things like
Yeah.
that. Being able to maneuver the system. In my experience, like you were saying, people will kind of lie on their application, or
Hmm.
and I think you, maybe you didn't hear me talk about this on LC's channel yesterday, but I can't stand the fake it till you make it mentality.
Uh,
It is like the
uh,
Agree,
worst.
agree, agree, agree.
Tell me what you don't know. And if it's
right.
a deficit, then let's go ahead and let's focus on working on that. I cannot stand that a person, will if it's related to, especially like with a computer background, if you don't
Hmm.
understand the system at all, and you thought that this was more like data entry,
Hmm.
and
Right.
it's beyond that,
Right.
then you
Right.
need to open up in the beginning and say, hey, I'm not familiar with these programs. I don't understand. I never learned the
Right.
basics. And so
Hmm.
that either that person can make the decision to throw you in training. But what I notice is that they're the ones that's disappearing the most.
Yeah.
They're not where they're supposed to be. They're
Hmm.
they have all these computer issues all of a sudden.
Mhm.
And it becomes so
because they
Yeah.
don't
obvious, like
know.
you talking right now. It becomes so obvious. I'm sorry, I didn't overtalk you, honey, but I'm sitting up here laughing because it's like I have seen that going. What the fuck? Okay, I agree, y'all.
Mhm.
Well, here's
Yeah.
my question to you is, and I have a, this is something I wanted to bring up. How do you
Uh-oh.
deal with the generational differences, or how younger people view working versus how you know how
Excellent question.
what we bred it to, how we
Mhm.
view what working actually is. Um, so,
Excellent question.
Um, Miss
some of
Empress.
these some of our employers typically cater to um to especially the newer generation of workers
Hmm.
by
Mhm.
having all these incentives.
Mhm.
Or in my mind, it's like talking to us like we're children, like, treating us like
Mhm.
we're little kids. Well, my current job doesn't do that, but
Mhm.
treating us like we're little kids, and giving us like little kudo points, and doing
Uh,
this, like we're in kindergarten.
Gold
right.
stars and
Versus,
stuff like that.
and I'm like, no, I just need you to tell me that I'm doing a good job, and where's the pay raise. Like, I don't need
Yeah. What
The
what
gold
I don't need
stuff.
a $5 list. I don't need a $10 gift card.
right. What
I
what
don't need.
my experience is, and this is no hate, or anything on the younger generation, I'm just telling the truth and what my experience is. That a lot of the younger folks come in with a sense of entitlement,
Absolutely.
and they want the most for doing the least.
Absolutely.
And it grinds my gear when I see the powers that be giving them what they want. And I have to tell them, yo, you're setting a, yeah, and I do say yo, yo, you're setting a precedent. And you hate, and to go back a little bit, also with the younger generation, they don't tend to stay long. And even when you look at their resumes, like and I'll say with my generation, we were all about, you gotta get that good job,
Yep.
trying to get, that good retirement plan, good
It was
medical
always about the
benefits,
benefits. Yep. It was about the
you
benefits
know,
and the retirement.
oh God, what's the secure job security,
Mm.
right? Whereas the younger generation, and any younger folks that are in the chat can chime in. And I'm just speaking from my experiences, that they tend to come in, um, maybe stay 1 or 2 years. Now they can add this experience to their resume, and they're on to the next thing smoking. And then, the powers that be are looking gobsmacked, like, but we gave them everything they wanted. And here I go. That's why you
Hey, Kevin.
shouldn't have done that. Hey, Devon. Whereas, older folks, um, with children are a little settled, they tend to stay a lot longer because they're looking for something that's stable, and they're not with the BS, and they tend to produce a better quality of work. Uh, and again, no disrespect to anybody. I'm just going by, what I've experienced. And, I tell the powers that be, you're, throwing all the gold and jewels to these young folks, making all these offers to get them in there. Why not do the same for the older folks? Or how about this? How about you wait and let them earn it instead of just throwing it at them all at once? But I just give
Yeah.
advice and suggestions. Did I
So
answer your question, Joe?
Yeah, that was a good answer. And the
that
thing
was a good
about it
question
is,
too.
I think that training needs to be geared for, they need to change a little bit of how they are acclimated to the position a little bit, because as much as you want to believe that they have some type of some of the job, they have standard training, like how
Mm-hmm.
how to do the job. They should also add a component of communication skills there. Like,
Yes.
let's talk about communication. Let's talk about how to manage your time while you're working,
Yep.
what is necessary to be effective coming to work, what are your needs. I
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of employers. So
Multitasking. Mm-hmm.
I see
I
a
look
lot of
forward to it when y'all come back.
employers do things like they'll have stuff about, well, if you have any issues, we got this mental health, blah blah blah. They have those but no, they got to realize, if they're hiring people that are like between 18 and 25, especially,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they need to have um understanding that there's going to be deficits. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
have different types of needs and different types of problems. I've seen
Right.
jobs I've seen jobs cater to young people by saying, we have this thing called daily pay, where you can get your money every day. And so that's supposed to be an incentive for them to come to work every day. But
Mm-hmm.
with some young people, if they say, well, I don't need money today, I'm not gonna come to work today, because if I
Right.
come to work tomorrow, I'm gonna
Right.
get paid tomorrow. and
Yeah.
and that mindset doesn't teach them how to pay their bills and things like that. and,
Not
I-
at
and i
all.
was i was really
Not at
surprised
all.
to see how some of the things that a lot of these different employers cater to young people, and not setting them up for what's going to happen after they, like,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to pay, rent a place, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, by first, like I always say this, where you are in life by the type, if you ever purchased a bed before in your life, how you bought your own
Right.
furniture before,
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things that young people typically buy is a bed. Like, that's just, you
Right.
know, and if you're speaking to young people that's still sleeping on a mattress or air mattress, or the mattress is on the
Mm-hmm.
floor, you kind of know where they are mentally in life. When you're
Right.
older, and then older people care more about being able to go to the doctor, dealing with the when they're
Mm-hmm.
sick, and they want more sick time, more
Yeah.
time to recruit, giving people
Mm-hmm.
incentives, like, giving older people incentives to say, you know what, you're gonna need, let's give you some more PTO time, let's give you incentive to
Yeah.
have a day off. You give
Yeah.
young people that same incentive, they're like, I'm not taking a day off, I'm going out.
Can I interrupt real quick? Because this whole
Uh,
conversation is making me think. Now we're sitting up here at 11:09 here, talking about all these good things and how everything works out, and how if it was like this, we all on the same page. We like this in society because they can't prepare themselves for a job because ain't nobody prepared them when they was in school about
yeah,
how they
that's
need to pay
true.
rent and save money and know what an IRA and all this kind of shit is. We, myself, I can go. I'm 58 years old in 2026, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
damn near starting over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm damn near starting over because of the fire.
Right.
And I got all my shit. I got
Hey,
insurance. I got
Alfie,
this.
thank you
I
for
got
coming
that.
through.
I got
Mm-hmm.
all that. So when we
Right.
talk about being prepared for a job, hell, they ain't even prepared for the next day.
So yeah,
Right, and
for real life.
that's where those are like the basic things and understanding. Like, you may not, you may have this job because, some of you have this job because you want things, you might stay with your
Mm-hmm.
parents. Some of
Mm-hmm.
you have this job because you're going through school, and
Right.
um, you know, you need to, have income just so that you can, have somewhere to stay and pay for your schooling. But a lot
Right.
of them, right, you
Hey,
know
Lisa.
you
LB.
see a group of them where they're all like deciding to live in like a little apartment together. It may be a 2 bedroom or a 1 bedroom, and they're all
Mm-hmm.
living together. And they say, you take that corner, I take this corner. We're just eating ramen noodles, and
Man.
anytime we get
That's
paid,
crazy to me.
and
That's
I think
crazy
that
to me.
and I think that has a lot to do with not thinking at least a year or 2 or 3 years ahead. It's
Yeah.
always, they living in that moment.
In the
And the
present,
way
yes.
and in the way social media is, a lot of these young people, they're like, okay, I can do TikTok, I can do YouTube, I can do this, get money, get cash outs, whatever, and then work this job part-time. I've seen places like, if you go to the grocery stores now and fast food
Mm-hmm.
restaurants, I remember we didn't have our phone out, we didn't have this. You see young people with AirPods in their ears. They're at Walmart working, and
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
I don't have nothing against that, right?
Yeah.
However, you'll see some older people working, and they're the ones that's doing, making, doing the harder work, while you
Yeah.
have young people just standing around, you
It's that
know.
work ethic.
And
Yeah,
don't have
so
nothing to
it's
do.
But
I don't
but
have
what
anything to do.
but what
It's
I'll
not. It's.
say,
Go ahead.
I'm going to say that that may come with maturity after they've been out there for a while, and have faced some setbacks or some failures. I mean, I'll for myself, I'm at my big old age of almost being 60, I'm still a work in progress. There's still a
Hmm.
lot of things that I don't know. I got that
Hmm.
work ethic though. I got that work ethic
Yeah,
now.
that's
Well,
what I'm saying. That's all it
I'm
is.
a. I got okay. Here I go again, being the opposite. Now, I've done things in my life, but I'll tell you, every woman, every man in my family has a beautiful work ethic. For some reason, it skipped my ass. My work ethic sucks so bad. I will get at a job and I will tell y'all I got fired because I was going home taking naps. What I figured
Mm,
was that while I'm there, I do so well and everybody praising me and I do so good. I'm gonna just take me a nap
mm-hmm.
because I get so much praise. But then it started getting to the point where I was taking more like an hour, and this was going
Right.
on for a couple of months. And they was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, y'all didn't say nothing, so I was doing work and I'm getting, you
Yeah.
know, all this stuff." They said, "You're stealing from the company." I said, "Oh my."
Hmm.
Oh my. So
And while we
being
have
young,
that,
yeah, I'm young. So
yeah,
I'm fine. That's all good.
I always advocate for paid naps. I think that is one of the
I
things that
was.
all
I
jobs should
earned
have
those.
is paid naps.
Yes,
Like
honey, I earned it.
that's ultimate incentive for a person who actually do take naps while she's working in between. I have managed the skill of taking a 30-minute nap during an
Mhm.
a hour I
I'm
have
so
managed the
serious.
skill to
I
do
know
LB,
people
that.
like that.
I
Yeah.
and the reason I figured this is because I was at that company. I was single, by myself. I'm young. I was doing overtime 2 and 3. It was a call center, so I'm doing
Hmm.
overtime all the time. So I can take me an hour nap. I'm gonna be back here 2 in the morning till 4, and then I'm gonna go home and come back another hour because I lived across the street. So I figured, how am I doing you wrong? I'm
Just
giving you
don't
all
do it
this
at your
time.
desk.
No, I went home and took a nap,
Oh yeah,
honey. I
yeah,
said
yeah,
on
yeah,
my
yeah,
lunch break.
yeah.
And so they asked me, and I was very honest. I said I was asleep.
And I'm
I was
gonna read unadulterated truths comment. That's the only reason why I left it up here so long. Creating a relaxed atmosphere is great when you have great workers. A
Yes.
slacker will throw that off if they can get away with doing the bare minimum and allowing others to carry part of their workload. That you're absolutely right. And I have an example. And I may have talked to you my opinion about this person. So I have someone and she's still on staff. She was in jeopardy of losing her job, so she got right real quick. Um that for whatever reason she thought proper work attire was a was black bra, a sheer top, and what do they call them? Coochie cutters, Daisy Dukes. Now, where on earth you walk in an office setting, and would think that that type of attire would be appropriate?
I would say strip club when you're going to see the boss in the office.
Yeah,
Wrong?
this ain't no strip club.
Oh, okay, so yeah,
So
I'm not thinking
I
that's
would get
appropriate then, dear.
so I would get on her. I got on her about that. So then, okay, so she's not wearing, the Daisy Dukes, but she's wearing the skirts and dresses that barely come to the bottom of her booty. And so when she would bend over, you could see all the way up to her throat,
Oh no.
through her body. And this is on top of her coming to work late
Mm.
and sleeping at her desk, talking about she's bored while also
What?
asking for overtime.
Oh, so she at the club.
And wasn't a promotion.
Oh, she's so sweet.
So I had to call her in the office, and I had to tell her, with a mirror so she could see herself.
Oh damn,
Um,
not the
because,
mirror.
because she swore up and down that her skirts and dresses came to her knees. I said, you can't look down and to see where your skirt is falling. You have to look in the mirror. So there was that, and then the being late for work and being told that I don't pay people for time they not working. And then the sleeping at her desk, I told her, I don't pay people to sleep. So
Oh,
if I find you sleeping at your desk again, you're going home with no pay. And I said, instead of you worrying about, trying to get a promotion, trying to get some overtime, your focus right now needs to be on keeping your job.
wow,
And
that's
I
honest
get,
though.
yeah, yeah. And I gave her 30 days to get herself right or get prepared to, find another job. So she got herself right. And I
That's
knew
all it took.
she got two little babies at home. And we're not talking about a young girl. She 30, 33. So she not young. But, as she was crying, because she broke out the tears, she said she likes to dress. I asked her, why do you, come to dress revealing or come to work revealing all your goods? And her response was she likes to feel pretty. So I had to tell her beauty and prettiness isn't based on showing off your body, honey. And I
I
said,
agree. Oh man.
I said, if you feel like you have to show off your body, that's a self-esteem issue. And I said, your husband doesn't have a problem with you leaving the house like that. No, he likes it when I come to work like that. And I said, so that's a whole nother issue. And I told her, I said, tell your husband that he is your husband and not your pimp.
Oh damn.
I told her that and if he has a problem with it, my phone number, he can call me. But he doesn't work for me, you do. And I'm telling you that this dress is inappropriate and I cannot have you at work dressing like this, or else I'm going to have to start sending you home. So she got right, if
That
she's
seems to
like,
be a trend though with these young people. I see it on these TikToks. The shortest of short skirts, sheer shirts, and it's I forgot what they call the trend, but that's supposed to be, the new office attire. And I'm thinking, y'all ain't going to
not
no
for a
office.
professional work
No,
environment.
no, they showing clothes off. That's their job. They not going to nobody's office dressed like that. And if they are, that's all they doing is modeling clothes that you should not wear.
And I could I
Look
might
at TMK.
I
He said any
might be
visual
able
aids.
to kind of understand it if she was like if this was her first job. It's
Hmm.
straight out of high school. She don't know no better. but she's had jobs before, and she married and has children. Come on now.
Well, this goes back to that point that when we were talking, saying at one point, do you keep blaming your parents? At one point, do you start taking responsibility for your own stuff? We had this conversation.
Yeah, that too. You got any comments about that, Joe? Or are you the one wearing the Daisy Dukes at work?
She over there in the
Listen,
Daisy Dukes with a nap. That's
I
what happened with
wear
her.
listen. I wear pajamas to work. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all don't know. I wear like I got these these little slipper shoes that have like they
Mhm.
socks and they got little puppies on them. You know what I'm saying? When I go to work, I be chilling. I'm past that point.
But what I would say is this: I'm going to give a wild guess that your work environment allows it.
Yes, it does.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the difference,
See,
honey. That's
ours
the
doesn't.
difference. See, they didn't allow me to go to sleep at my job. They just said you supposed to do whatever you want on your 30 minutes, but I was going past my 30 minutes, and they figured that wasn't what I was supposed to do.
Wait a
And now
minute,
going
Joe.
back to the dress, I'm
Do you
sorry.
be wearing a bonnet too?
No,
Are you a bonnet babe?
no, I don't wear
I'm,
bonnets.
yeah, I'm
I
more of a
don't wear
scarf
bonnets
and
out. I
turban.
don't wear bonnets outside. I don't wear bonnets. I'm surprised that if when I do sleep with one, it's still on my head. It never is. So I be struggling. You know.
Girl, I gotta wear a
I
bonnet. I gotta
now.
wear six things.
Now listen, I'm smart enough to you could take a hair wrap it, tie your braids up, have it popping out. You can look cute. You know, I'm pat. Ain't no, you don't need to wear a bonnet. You can
Yeah,
you
to
can
get a
look
nice
cute
scarf or a
now. You
turban.
know what I'm saying?
Was that going back to the interview? And I remember the place I was
Yes.
telling y'all that I got fired at because I was asleep.
Yes.
Well, I went back to get rehired because I go back in 6 months. I went back to
Okay.
get rehired. I didn't get rehired, and what the thing was that got me is that it was all these high schoolers. They just got out of school. They coming in for their
Mm,
interviews. They loud. They got tennis shoes and jeans on, just loud. I'm dressed, in a nice beige outfit, very professional. And I didn't say ASK correctly. So,
mm.
but then I hear all these loud kids, you saying, "Oh, here go my schedule. Here go my schedule," and I'm looking like. I didn't say that word, and I'm looking at these kids dressed in jeans, and I'm dressed professionally, and y'all don't want me here, but y'all want all these loud ass kids. I
Yeah.
went to the car and I was crying, and my husband was like, "What happened?" But we weren't married at the time, and he was like, "What happened?" I was like, "I didn't get hired." He said, "What happened?" I said, "Because he said I didn't say ask." I said, ask. But all them kids was sitting there
Wow.
being loud and stuff, and they didn't hire me, and I was professional and all this. And again, that company taught me a lot.
Well, some jobs, right? They hire
It was
by
a call center.
they do body count, so they only care about how many bodies is
Yeah.
is there. So some of those jobs do that.
Yeah.
And then on the manager side, right, they have this whole thing about they know that people don't put in 100% at work. They have this whole math that they do where it's like, okay, people are going to give you like 75%. So they have this kind
Hmm.
of like window and they and a lot of, to think like a manager versus to think like an employee, it is everything is about numbers, about,
Hmm.
um productivity and all these other things. So
Yeah.
they'll factor that in. They'll factor, how many days a person is off. And if you work for a
Right.
job that's contracted, right, they
Hmm.
definitely is competing for other, competing for another contract, or they might be competing with another company. So they're
Right.
definitely focusing on bodies and productivity. So they will hire. It's weird because they lose a lot of money, you thinking, but they'll hire a bunch of people and then know they and
Hmm.
continuously are. You ever see those jobs just like continuously hiring all the time
Yeah,
and
because they
and
have
they
high turnover rates.
right, and
Hmm.
they have a high turnover rates, and you're wondering like why, how they're able to hire so many people, and then sometimes they'll slow down on their like, they're firing like, they might have a stipulation where you can only can have so many absences, and then they start saying, oh well, the absences drop off, and then you know, and that's because they probably trying to hold on, they're trying to bid for that.
Yeah.
It might be a year where
Hey, sister.
Hey,
they need to
Bethel.
show proof. They need to show proof that they have a large productivity.
Right.
Their output is more. Their output is way more than what they are, or their input is way more than the output. So it's so then those companies are happy. You see a lot of these major companies
Mm-hmm.
with names hire a lot of contracted companies to, there's like
Right.
a loophole. And so
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
those people, you might be a full-time employee working for that company directly, but that
Mm-hmm.
company will hire contractors to come in and hire for them. And then
Yeah.
they're the ones, they
I've
don't
seen
really
that.
work for that company. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot going on. It's a lot of unfairness. But as a person who's a manager who have to adjust dealing, when you're interviewing different types of people and having to learn a little bit of their lingo, just like let's say you're interviewing someone that's under 25, and
Mm-hmm.
they're qualified for the position, but
Mm-hmm.
but you say something like, you bring up your, the Eagles and your experience and things like that,
Right.
and they so you kind of have to adjust. And luckily
Mhm.
we have kids around that age, so we kind of have an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I
So
gotta
that
say,
kind of
whatever you guys,
helps.
I'm sorry, Joe. I just have to say, whatever you guys have done in your personal lives to come to these, uh, I'm very proud to be associated with you all. I am, and the folks in this sector, because
That's just
even
mine.
things, yeah, things that I already knew, some of the things have improved. I've learned some things, and then just listen to your professional side. It just makes me feel even better the choices I've made of who I associate with in this sector. So thank you for this.
Well,
We good peoples.
for
Yeah,
the
y'all good
sectors,
people, good people.
for the sector
Hey, but
sake, I work at a flour mill, and I just make flour all day. Okay.
cool beans. Because I need the flour when I fry up my stuff. So thank you for contributing to society with the flour. We need it in the black community. It's
Yeah,
so
and
staple.
I work at the poppy shop or the corner.
And coffee, and he has told me how good the coffee is in Philly. So thank you for sending those samples. I appreciate it.
and
And
then
then lastly, Joe, I
and
need you to change
then
that because Joe, real quick, honey, we don't take naps because anything longer than 20 minutes, we go back to bed. So we don't take naps, honey. We go back to bed.
listen. That's why I work in the midday so that I can do that. Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
I made a conscious decision so I can have my day morning to myself. And when you're like when you get older, because I made it to the fifth floor. It
Hmm.
seems like Miss Murph, you're heading
Congratulations.
to the
Thank you for
Miss
talking to.
Murph, you're about to make it to the sixth floor.
Yes, honey. Yes.
So I, when you
Long
make it
ass
to
ride.
when you make it to the fifth floor and your priorities change,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like
Yeah.
it was when you were on the fourth floor, the third floor, the second floor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when you're
Yeah.
on the fifth floor, you require a lot more stability,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot more consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm an empty
Listen,
nester. I'm an empty nester, so
me
you
too.
know, um,
Thank you.
my
Look,
goal.
fingers crossed, prayer heads. Don't nobody come back to the house. I like my empty nest.
Yeah, and so your goal is to travel. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
work so much, and then I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna plan a trip, and I'm going to travel. I'm not going, we're not going down the street anymore. We're not, we're not heading
Yeah.
over there. We're
Staycation.
not heading to
Staycation.
the,
Yeah.
what I'm saying. We're not heading to, the park to hang out or anything anymore. We're like, okay, where do you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be extravagant. How
Mm-hmm.
how can we make this happen?
Yep.
And and then come back to because when you go on those trips, you don't want to come back. I was like,
Not at
but
all.
so
Not
your
at all.
so your senses change. So some people, have their mindset. They're only focusing on the day to day and what they can do. Just the little things that matter. But some people really see things in a big way, and they want to you know, before it's really, before they really can't, you know what I mean? They want to go outside, maybe visit other countries, maybe go on cruises, maybe,
Mhm.
go visit family that have moved further away. Cause,
Yeah.
nowadays people don't
Mhm.
just live down the street. It used to be back in the day, everybody just went down. They either went
Absolutely.
down, they either went to the other side of town or they went down the
Yeah.
street. And then in the summertime, they would go down south. But
Mhm.
now, the world is bigger.
Mhm.
Oh my
So,
God, I'm telling you, it's got to
Yep.
be something in the black community. There is just something about us that we do that it don't matter if you black, period. That's just it.
Yeah, but
right,
nowadays we're all over. We're all over
right.
the
It's
country.
a known it's a known thing. If you're from the east or the Midwest, in the summertime, you would go down, your people, or you would go down south,
Mhm.
or you would see, if you live down south, you saw your people from the north
Yep.
coming down to see you.
Yeah.
That slowness, and then the people that went up north, they was like, oh, it's too fast for me up here, let me
Yeah.
go back down here,
They
let me
sure
go back.
would.
It's
Like,
crazy. It
wait
is
a minute. Oh,
crazy.
that.
And
Hey,
it's
that is
weird
so
because
crazy.
some people would go to camp, like, there's a generation where people,
Mhm.
I went to camp too, but
Yeah, we
some
went to
people
camp.
would go to camp, but no, black, us, send them kids down south with them aunties and them, you know, send them down south. Down south will humble them, you know what I mean? You go down south,
Yeah.
the
It's
slower
always one
and
kid going someplace. One going that way. One going to this state. One gonna be there for the summer.
Yeah.
yeah. And so, and then unfortunately, we got the people that really didn't leave the neighborhood. They just went, they stayed in the same place forever. So, I mean, we're fortunate to be people that could move
Okay.
around a lot more. I mean, it's a blessing. And then, with
Hey, honey
COVID,
bunny.
Okay.
peop- people really didn't believe they was going to be able to move around. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
it's important.
propane.
Dancing wolf. Hey,
But nah,
darling.
I'm just, hey, honey bunnies. I'm just up here, supporting my Philly Wolfette. Yeah, y'all go ahead. I'm
Thank
here though.
you. Okay, so let's talk about if anybody's still interested. I'm a talker, I love to talk. So on the other side, folks that would be going on interviews, my suggestions and tips. Number one, be yourself, of course. And do your best to try to relax. Even though you want to sell yourself, just be relaxed, be again confident, not cocky. That's how I put it. um and don't be afraid to ask the employer, is there room for growth? Like, if you're hired, when the position is filled, is there room for growth within their company, their department, their unit, or whatever from that position? Another question that I like to ask is, do you already have someone in mind for this position? And the reason why I ask that question, and hopefully the company or department or whatever is honest, is because some decades ago, oh my God, I've been working for a long time. Some decades ago, I went on an interview, and the person, that was interviewing me told me that they already had a person in mind, that they were going to offer the position to, but they just had to go through the process of interviewing people. Okay, good looking. Thanks for the heads up. And the woman asked me if I still wanted to go through.
My
What?
fault. I'm reading.
You
I'm reading
loud?
slander comment.
You loud? Let me cut my volume
My
down.
my
You
fault.
okay?
No, slander trying to drop me, y'all. He trying to pay to get me dropped.
But my response was yes, I did want to go through the and well, first off, I thanked her for her honesty. And I said, yes, I'd like to go through the interview because I could use it as practice. For always trying to sharpen up my interview skills. Um, so we did a 15-minute interview. And I was out. No, I wasn't going to get it, but that was fine. That was early on in my work life. Um, so after that, that was one of the questions that I added was, do you what happened to my opinion? Um, asked that, and a lot of times that the interviewers will be honest, or at least I think they're being honest. Um, so, and I'll say this: sometimes I will apply for a position and accept the interview, um, just because I want more information, just to see, what the possibilities are with that position. And at the end of the interview, because most times when I interview, I get offered a position, except for that one time. Let me give myself a little pat on my back. But I will let them know, after hearing everything, you can remove I'd like to withdraw my candidacy for the position because I don't want to, even though they'll probably look at it as me having wasted their time because they did the interview. you know if it was interesting enough for me, of course I would have taken my chances with it. And I have accepted positions that for and to go back to what we were talking about before about being overqualified for a position. There have been times when I accepted positions that were for um, lower salary. The pay was less, but the opportunity for growth um, was more, or I found the work to be more interesting or more of what I wanted to get into. Um, so there's that. Joe, do you have any advice or any comments? Can everybody hear me?
No, I can hear you. I can
Oh,
hear you.
okay.
We hear
I
you.
was getting.
We
I
hear
didn't
you.
want you to hear me, Liz. I didn't want you to hear me getting all that ice from my my refrigerator. But
Okay.
what I would say is when you're overqualified for a position, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a lot of us would be, especially if something had happened and we had to move on to something else, right?
Yeah.
The one thing
Mm-hmm.
that I always tell people is that just don't be discouraged. um when you get older, you kind of think about what's really important for you.
That's true.
Some people get jobs because good medical insurance. Some people get jobs
Yes.
because the job development might be better, or the pathway that they can take might be a better path for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always tell people just to think about what you're good at. Look around and see what's available to you, and then you know um tailor your resume to that. A lot of people always talk about how they
Yeah.
overly, how people overly embellish on their resume. Don't do
Right.
that. Take
Mm.
the parts of your resume and focus on what you're good at, and
Right.
make that a resume. Like, and
Mhm.
actually tailor it to the job that you actually want
Yes.
versus saying, I did all these things and I work for this, big company and I was in this high position. No, tailor your resume towards the job that you actually want and the level of development that you want to get from that particular job. And that probably will help those who aren't overly qualified, but they really want that's their passion to do this particular type of work. That's just
Yes. Yes. And I have a story. One of my girlfriends, and this is from years ago. She graduated. She got her master's, and she was working for a pharmaceutical company. And because she got her master's, they offered her a promotion as some sort of research analyst, right? And this was a few decades ago, and so it was big money, right? So because she was able to make that money at that company, she applied for another pharmaceutical company. Not that she ever did the work, right? But she applied for another pharmaceutical company and got hired there as some sort of research analyst, making more than she was making at the previous pharmaceutical company. Within 3 months, she was on to the next one, on to the next one. Mind you, she never did any clinical research, data analysis, whatever work, and just schemed her way through till she got to what company was it? Merck, because she had went to Covance, Pfizer, AstraZeneca. And I know when she got the Merck, they didn't give her 3 months. They bounced her out of there in 30 days. So her BS finally caught up with her. And I was like, don't
Mm.
ever let me get caught up in something like that. But it worked for her for like I want to say like a year and a half bouncing around from pharmaceutical company to pharmaceutical company, solely based that she had her master's degree, and then she was able to list these other pharmaceutical companies on her resume, not noting how long she worked there. But I kind of blame those companies for falling for the banana in the tailpipe. But I just thought that was a funny story.
Everything catch up, man. Everything catch up
Yep.
with
I,
whatever
li- I
whatever
yeah,
we do.
yeah. And I do my best to try to be transparent. If I don't know something, I'm going to say I don't know it. But I'm willing to learn. I can talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I have experience in a lot of stuff. Am I the master of some? Maybe in some things. Um, but
I heard you had experience in rap too. What's up with that?
come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, that's why you really up here. I can't spit that's I bomb. But I will say back in the day, everybody in Philly, we all swore we could rap. We all had our little books, this, that, and the other. Thinking we spitting some fire, and it be
So
corny
what I
as
missed?
hell. Huh?
So I said, so what I missed? Did you rap one of your old raps when I wasn't here or something?
No,
Or
no, he's talking about my intro. Did you see my intro?
no? Can you play it right now?
I sure can. Wait a minute, what's in the back chat? Okay. I sure can. I love
All
it.
right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Hold please. And this was TMK putting my voice, whatever he did. Hopefully he explained it in the
Let me
chat,
get
or
out
he
the
can
chat.
come up and explain it.
Let's go. Woman Philly, so you know it get really wrong. Know you gon' relate to everything when you hear us talk. Came up at a city where you learn from every single scar. Cherish all our wins, cause we not a stranger to the loss. I was just a girl, just focused on surviving. I done grown up in womanhood and started thriving. Here we cherish love, marriage, commitment. City where it's brotherly love, don't want division. Maturity is something I want, then I'm consistent. Something I want, I'm gon' get it. I learned to have intention and movement with purpose. Learn it if it costs you your peace, it isn't worth it. Honoring the lessons that turn into legacy. The past is what made me a more for what's ahead of me. Walking in alignment, every step is meant to be. Womanhood and love, it's not a trend, it's the recipe.
Okay, okay, okay.
My intro
Mercy
is
to you.
fire.
That was cute.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't never see that job. That shit is hot.
I just played it at the beginning of my show today. I love it so much. I was explaining, when I was doing my babbling on and on at the beginning when I first came live, how much I love it and how well TMK was able to capture me.
Mm,
Was like for the lyrics, the music,
yeah,
the graphics. That's me.
he
You
killed
see,
that joint. I say, listen. As soon as I seen this shit, I said, yeah, this Philly. Like he hooked, he hooked the intro up so Philly
yes,
style. Like that
yes,
intro can really like however you want to take your content. Like you got something with that intro, and then however you deliver the content.
yes,
Like I fuck with that joint.
yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. And
So
like my voice, like he got the inflections of my voice, like Photon calls it my accent or whatever. I say I talk Philly. I don't know if I sound like
what
I'm from Philly or not. I just
they
talk
all
how
they
I
all say they all say we got accents. I don't hear it, but what part of Philly? What part of Philly you at? Yeah?
Look,
I
yes,
said
y'all
why
north.
you
do, and I
Remember,
love it.
why you trying to dox me, propane?
my fault, my fault. I just thought we know north, south, east, west.
So where am I originally from? Like I was Nice
Mm,
Town. But
nice.
I've lived Nice Town, from Nice Town to Germantown, West Oak Lane, East Oak Lane.
All right. We got to
Um,
stop right at West Oak Lane. Where was you at in my
I ain't
hood?
familiar. Wait, I'm
Huh?
telling you, when you had went live, whenever it was you went live and you were on your block, I was like, I know that block.
That's why I'm asking. Where was you at in Oak Lane? Because I have no 72nd in Ogon. What's up?
I was at what is that? Oh my god. Cedar Park Ave. 69th and Cedar
Oh,
Park Ave. I was up there. I've been at 69th and Broad.
no. So
Germantown, like I
you was
said.
around Wagner.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Um
Broad is
not
Broad
Wag-
Street.
Broad, up near, where Broad is split between Broad and then it veers off to I think that's State Road. I was up that way. You know where the Oak Lane Diner is, right? I think that's 65th or
Yeah,
66th and Broad.
they knocked that joint down.
It goes to show how long it's been since I've been up that way.
Yeah,
But
that shit ain't been up. That shit been going.
I lived a few blocks up from there. Yeah, Old York Road up that way. I've
Yeah,
lived
yeah. No, I was about to correct you about that shit. Cause you said State Road. I'm like,
yeah,
no, she
Old
mean
York
Old York
Road.
Road.
Yeah, Old York Road. I've been. I've never. It's probably easier to tell you where I haven't lived. I've never lived in the Northeast, and I've never lived in. I've never lived in South Philly. So where was I at? So from Oak Lane to East Germantown, Mount Airy,
Mm,
back to East Germantown. I moved a lot. The Badlands, if you know where the
mm,
Badlands are,
you already know.
I got some
Mm.
stories I could tell about
Yeah,
my days in
I
the
don't know.
Badlands.
I don't even go back there. It's just I don't even go back there.
And from there, I went to Overbrook, and then Overbrook Park to sorry Joe, Overbrook Park to Winfield to back to the Brook, and then I've been in King Sessing and Eastwood. So like I said, I've been all over except for the Northeast and South Philly.
So you're originally from Nice Town. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I ain't mean for Jill to drop down. I was going to stop
Okay, Joe.
talking after.
I'm sorry, what you say?
No, where'd Jill go? I ain't mean for her to drop down because we got into the Philly shit.
She said she going shopping. In Winfield, I was near oh my god, what do they call it? Because they call it something now. You know where the reservoir what the water department reservoir is? I was over that way.
Mm.
Near City Ave and Belmont. And in the Brook, I was what's that? 63rd and Jefferson. 63rd and Jefferson. Yeah. Yep. I was over that way. Um and Overbrook Park. You know, where some folks thought it was the Diddy up there, but it ain't. That was regular Philly. Let me stop saying it, given where I was at, since people want to know too much information. But yeah, I've been all over except for South Philly and the northeast. Now my what areas that I had the most fun in, whether I lived in the areas or not, was the Badlands for certain reasons and Cobb's Creek. Oh my goodness, I had some fun in Cobb's Creek. You still there, Propane?
I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So
Uh,
have you lived in other areas of Philadelphia?
nah, just uptown and where I'm at now. I'm in Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have people in Logan, but I've never actually lived in Logan. Yeah,
yeah.
I got some stories
It's
about Logan.
it's
So
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy around. I mean, it's crazy everywhere. But
it
you
is.
know, me moving on my own because I used to after I left my parents' crib, my first apartment was in Mount Airy.
Yeah.
What's the joke? Who's saying something in the chat? What happened?
No, he's talking about me. That's UT saying he hopes I wasn't hanging out with the Jamaicans in Southwest.
Uh, uh,
What
yeah,
about the Africans in Southwest?
yeah.
But yeah, I used to watch the guys play not football, basketball at the courts on Cobb's Creek. above.
do females go to the games to actually watch the games, or they just look at the niggas?
Well, back then it was all about the dudes.
I knew they like motherfucker. You know what? You know what?
I can
I
only speak
can't, but
for
it's like
myself. I can only speak
no,
for
no. You speaking? No, that's what it is. That's what it is, yo. I always wondered that shit.
have our little gear on, with the oh god, what did we call them? The door knockers, the figure eight earrings. Have our little, have our little outfits on. Like what's
Mm-mm-mm.
up?
Mm-mm-mm. Oh my god, yo,
Oh, I remember them
yo,
days.
like I've been wanting to ask that question for so long. It's like I forgot about that question, and I never really asked a female that because I always wondered that shit. I'm just like, I'm like, they not interested in this game. They just know where a flock of niggas gonna be.
That's right. That's right.
Like,
That,
yeah,
that and, and when I was hanging out in those places, that was before cell phones, or at least before I had a cell phone. So anybody around my age will remember like the little black books, and getting numbers. Oh yeah. Hey, UT.
Oh, y'all was getting a little too Philly with it for me to be just sitting here listening. What's going on?
Hey.
Philly in the building.
That's
Philly in the
what's up.
Really
building.
in the building.
Yeah, this is a great live. I'm enjoying this, sis. It's real
Oh,
cool.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I figured I'd do a little something.
Okay. Yeah, so you was all over the place.
I
You was all over the
was.
place.
I
That's
was.
what's up.
And like I said, I never lived nor hung out in the Northeast or South Philly.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
but there are other areas in the city that I didn't live in,
Hmm.
but I had one hell of a time.
It's funny because everybody that live in one place was looking at other places to hang out. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
and that's how you got to meet people from all over the place.
Oh
It's
yeah.
funny because was it you that mentioned? I'm trying to remember. It was no, that might have been on my Facebook. Somebody mentioned because I was in the gallery so much because one of my
Mm-hmm.
buddies
Yep.
had the store had the Lee's on the Lee's Hoagies in the gallery. So I used to be down there on the
Mm-hmm.
weekends and stuff, and so I knew people from all over the city. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was one of the cool things. And then just hanging out at different spots and whatnot. And it was so crazy
Mm-hmm.
because the different clubs that you in different parts of the city. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? The whole
Mm-hmm.
cycle. You know what I mean? It would be open. It would be hot. Then somebody would get shot. You know,
Yeah.
and they start the process all over. I remember
Yeah.
when people folks was hanging out at the library. You
Yeah.
know, the
Mm-hmm.
library was the spot at
No,
one
no,
point.
no. So wait. What about skating rings and bowling rings? Where did
Yeah,
y'all
because
go?
you used to go up the WoW, right?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but let me tell you, I go back to like what was it called? Chevu up at 69th Street. Was it called Chevu? Chevu skating rink, and
Mm,
then
I'm
what was
not
the other one? Elmwood in Southwest.
Elmwood. Yep.
uh,
Elmwood was
Elmwood.
the spot on, yeah. And then we used to
Mm-hmm.
go over to
I
Jersey
couldn't bang
on
with that. That was too crazy. That
yeah,
one was
yeah,
crazy. I
Elmwood
couldn't
was
do that.
yeah. Now the one in Upper Darby up 69th Street, that was cool because we was going there since we was kids.
Yeah.
you know. But and that was like the closest one to us. But then,
Yeah.
I mean, then once wow, everybody would hit like what was it? Who was it? Was it Chesapeake Bay that had the crab, not the
Yep.
all
Yep.
you can eat
Yep.
crab,
It was. Yep. You got it.
and
And
then
look,
and then hit the
my
skating
thing
rink.
was, and I don't know who I got this advice from, but they told me never do dirt in your own backyard.
Uh huh.
That's why I never hung out. Like wherever I was living, I never dated any guys or hung out with any guys that were from my neighborhood. And
Yeah.
any dirt or whatever I was doing, it was always outside of wherever I live.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
bring
I
it
hear you.
to don't bring it to the backyard. Don't bring it to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
I
had a
hear you.
mouth on me.
uh, mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some good times. It was some
Yeah,
real good
and
times.
when
Yeah.
TGI Fridays was club, of course that was like
Listen, that was my spot. Now
So
the Fridays,
you talking about city, we talking about City
yeah,
city,
Avenue,
yeah,
Joe?
city.
yeah, uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yep. Because that was
I got
pretty
a,
much our
I got a
neighborhood.
story.
You
Yeah,
know, you said you got a story?
let's hear the story.
I told it on my channel a long time ago, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I got a little incident at
Uh,
TGI Fridays.
Fridays. Back when AI and them,
This
they
is
had turned it down. They turned it
I
loose.
was
They
just
had like velvet
yup,
ropes outside
yup,
of Friday. Well, I was like, what the hell is
You
going
see,
on?
that's after my
motherfucker.
mm-hmm.
What car he
Sir.
had? He had the Phantom. What was it? The Phantom or something? I think it's that Phantom. That
I think he
one of
had the
them is
Phantom,
super
and
bad
he
car.
always let his boys drive his cars too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. So I
So
would be there.
real.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm no. I'm gonna make this story short.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my ex had a birthday at Friday, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna come up there. She rented out the booth or whatever, and she had her friends there. But that night, it just so happened that AI was there and state
Mm-hmm.
property was there. So
Yo.
state property is right next to my girl and her girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
because they sitting in this booth. So when I walked in and shit, I looked over, I see the whole state prop, and I see AI. I'm like, I immediately got mad because I'm like, yo, I know they was trying to hit on my joint before I got here and shit. Like, so I'm not
Yeah.
even thinking like, yeah, she mine. I'm just all just like, no, fuck that. Niggas know what time it is, and if I
Hmm.
gotta fuck this whole shit, and I came by myself too. That's the crazy part. So
Wow.
I don't know one of the state prop bulls came over because they was trying to holler at my ex girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and when the bull came over, I'm already steaming. So he say happy birthday to my ex, and I just said, man, get the
Mm-hmm.
fuck out of here. And
Wow.
um, I don't know how I snapped, but I don't know why. I know why I snapped, but I don't know why it came out like that. I usually have control over myself, but point
It
blank,
was mad
nothing ain't
disrespectful.
happened, huh?
I said it was mad disrespectful.
I, yeah, yeah. I mean, I know what they were trying. It ain't like he was trying to talk to my girl in front of my face, but it's just the fact that
Oh.
I know y'all niggas, and y'all see like seven chicks over there, seven of y'all gonna
Mm-hmm.
be, you know what I mean? Oh, who the birthday girl? You know what I mean? I know how that shit went before I got there, but long
Right.
story short, I'm glad I ain't get rolled on because I didn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a spot though. You know what's crazy? Because I remember at one point, because what was it? It was called Casa Maria. The one that looked like it was at the bottom of the presidential apartments.
Yeah.
That restaurant right at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I remember because we used to go there, but I just wasn't into the whole, because I remember they had the barber chair where you sit in the barber chair and they pour a shot of tequila down your throat with the worm in it, right?
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, I can't even
Mm-mm.
get into that.
No.
But what happened was that became the spot where people would rob it because you
Wh-
got the exit right, you got the free
Right.
the expressway right there.
Right on
You can
76.
go exactly go in any direction in the city.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
in 30 seconds, you
Wow.
could be gone. So they
Yeah.
they kept
Mhm.
getting robbed,
Mm-hmm.
But it was that Fridays, and then Charlie's place across the street,
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of City Line, and then
Mm-hmm.
once they opened the Adams Mark, that was the spot too for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. we used to do the happy hours at at Adams Mark. It's funny because I got a crazy story from the Adams Mark, right? this one night we had been downtown, and so we have left, like, I don't know, it was Polo Bay, whether it's Polo Bay at that point, whatever it was. We wound up going up
Mhm.
City Line, right? And so we get there, it was me and two buddies of mine, right? So we
Mhm.
got in, and I went over. They went to get something to drink, and
Mhm.
uh, they went over. I went over by the dance floor, so I'm kind of like leaning over. They had like a little thing where they would play like little fake games of card games and backgammon and all kind of stuff like that. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of leaning over watching it, John, right? And
Mhm.
so I saw this person on the dance floor that I knew from the gallery, right?
Mhm.
And the person, even though I just kind of knew him in passing, I
Mhm.
knew it was uh, a transformer, right? And I
Okay.
had never had no
Oh man.
interaction, just like, you know what I mean? Just like, see, knew what store the person worked in the mall and all that kind of stuff, right? But I hadn't seen the person in a couple of years. So
Mhm.
what happened was they was on the dance floor with a dude, right? So I'm just minding my business, you know what I mean? If he dancing with the person, so be it, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So what happened was they walked by me, and the person spoke and I spoke back. They went to the bar with the dude, right? So about 5 minutes later, I feel somebody come up behind me and put their arms around me from behind.
Yo.
Right now, remember I told you the story I told you about last week, Miss Murphy,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. See,
but
that's where my mind went.
this person looked literally, I mean, I guess as best as it could have been back in that day, this person
Mhm.
looked like a woman. So in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, nobody probably knows. So let me at least, instead of turn around and swinging, let me at least kind of
Right.
be cool about it and like, hey, good to
Right.
see you. Hope everything is well, sort of thing, right? So
Mhm.
I'm trying to be cordial about it and just my boy. I didn't know that my one of my boys knew the person too.
Uh.
He's hollering from across the club. That's a dude. That's a dude.
Yo.
Yo, yeah.
I'm telling Steve, I'm telling Steve.
Oh man, he buzzed me out before I could have a chance to be cordial about it. He's like, "Yo,
That
that's
motherfucker,
the dude."
that motherfucker, that motherfucker,
Everybody
that
turned around looking at
motherfucker
me.
came up and hugged her from
Hmm.
behind. Oh
I was
shit.
like, "Yo, that was too crazy."
Oh shit.
Hey, at least he didn't
Uh,
she didn't kiss you on the neck
You said
or the
what?
cheek. I said, at least they didn't kiss you on the neck
No, no,
or on
hell no,
the
no.
cheek.
ah,
No.
ah, ah.
That was too crazy. I'm trying to be Mr. Nice Guy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was too
Oh
crazy.
man.
But yeah, all this, it's
Man.
like so
No,
many
it was.
memories. It's funny because I saw on one of my friends' Facebook page not too long ago. Remember when the joint collapsed into the Delaware River? Remember it was one of them clubs at the Delaware
Yeah,
River, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't remember,
yeah.
like
I don't
eight
remember
girls
which
died.
one.
I can't
Yeah,
remember which club it was,
yeah.
yeah, well, a friend of mine, her sister died in that
Oh wow.
accident. Yep, and I
Mm,
think it was like the 25th anniversary was
mm.
a couple of months
Yeah, I
ago.
can't remember what it was. I do remember it though.
Yeah, yep.
I wasn't really a big club person,
Hmm.
but look, let somebody have a house party.
Oh, I hear you.
I'm all up in there.
uh, uh-huh. Yeah,
I remember. I remember. I went to a house party and I forgot to put on deodorant.
Oh my
Oh
goodness,
no.
one of them. You was one of them. You was one of them
I
Oh,
was
smelling
in
like
that
oh,
motherfucker.
smelling like
I was in that motherfucker
he
with.
was humming.
Yo, I had my arms down. I could not dance. Y'all know I love to dance. I could not dance. Like and it got sweaty. I was so fucking mad, yo.
Wow. Yeah, summertime.
Like,
Summertime
Mm,
is not the time to be forgetting that.
man, not at all. Like
Yeah.
who
I'm
got
like,
the
what the fuck? As soon as like, I didn't even know I ain't had deodorant on until I got there. Cause cause
man?
I don't know. I must have been ready to go to the party. Cause I'm like, yo, I know it's gonna be chicks there and all that. And man, when I seen that sweat come from both armpits, and I had a fucking I had it like a dress shirt on and shit, so that shit was easy to
Mm.
leak through. I said,
You didn't
my
go
nigga,
to
my nigga
the
was
bathroom, see if they had some deodorant up in there? Or you wasn't using
no, it
somebody else?
wasn't that type of house party. I can't roam through this nigga house. I don't even know the nigga who house I was in.
Okay, I got
That's crazy. Nah, Doc, the person was about 5'2". I think that was one of the reasons why they was able to get away with that,
because they were
that little
short.
costume for so long. The person couldn't have been no more than about 5'2" and about maybe 120 or something like that. It's just that I knew, you know what I mean? It's just that I knew the person from the mall. Yeah. Listen, if it had been one of
Yo,
them big, one of
hey,
them
truth.
big ones, yeah.
That's a funny parody, man. That's a funny parody. Like
Oh
I see the
man, that
It
shit
parody
wasn't no
part when
kidding.
you do
was.
it, but I
Huh?
would
It
never
was.
do it. I would never do it. I would never do it, truth. But it's funny as shit if I when I'm visualizing in my head that parody would be funny as shit.
Yo,
But I'm good. I'm good.
man.
Oh,
Good
cocaine
time.
right
And
there.
some of them days, the hanging out and them crazy stories that you see. I remember. Did you ever go to Polo Bay, Miss Murph?
No. Mm-mm.
But you know where I'm talking about in the
I knew,
in
yeah,
the Warwick
I knew
Hotel
about it.
in the
Yeah,
Warwick, right? So we used to go.
right.
That was like because we was at. Let me see. When I was with working on a trading desk for the company I work for, we had our office first was at 16th and Market, then we moved to 18th and Market. So to
Hmm.
hit 17th and Locust was a hop, skip, and a jump, right?
Right.
But we was at Polo Bay damn near every week. So this one time it was in the springtime, and we were in the club, and it's mostly I say about maybe 85% white folks there, you know what I mean, after work
Mm,
and whatnot. So they
mm,
had the after work crowd, the springtime when they're, all the little white girls is they got
yeah.
engaged the year before, so their wedding is
Right.
coming up, right?
Right.
So it was a bunch of white girls in the little VIP section by the DJ booth.
Hmm.
And so they was having a little, I guess a little, the girl was getting married the next day. So they having their little bridal John in the corner, right?
Hmm.
So about maybe 9 o'clock, a police officer comes in, and he
Hmm.
goes over to the DJ booth, and the DJ points them over in the direction of where the girls are sitting, right? So he
Hmm.
goes over to talk to them, and come to find out it was a stripper, right? And
Hmm.
Polo Bay was one of them clubs. They didn't have bouncers. You know what I mean? It was one of them
Uh-huh.
big, elite. You know what I mean? It was no bouncers. They didn't, I never saw a bouncer in there, right?
Okay.
So anyway, he takes the girl up on the dance floor, right? They had an
Hmm.
elevated dance floor. Takes her up there. He puts a bar stool up on the dance floor, right? And he handcuffs her hands behind her, so she's handcuffed
Hmm.
to the bar stool, right?
Hmm.
So the DJ puts on some music, and the guy starts dancing for her. And
Hmm.
so some of her girlfriends is coming up on stage. By the time the guy gets down to his G string, like some of her girlfriends is coming up on stage and whatnot, and they putting dollars in his G string and what have you, right? So one
Hmm.
of her girlfriends gets the brilliant idea to put $1 in her mouth. So she gonna reach over with her mouth and put the
Mm.
dollar in his G string with her mouth, right?
Oh Lord.
Nobody knew that the fiance was in the club on the other side. That
Oh.
was more than he could handle, right?
Whoa.
The fiance jumped on the stripper and a brawl broke out. In the
Mm.
midst of the brawl, the girl got tipped over backward. Now she handcuffed to the bar
Yeah.
stool. she got tipped over backwards and hit her head on the floor. Right, she out cold,
Mm-hmm.
and the stripper is fighting with the fiance. They and the fiance and his buddies is whipping the stripper's ass, and it was only bartenders in there that was really trying to help the dude. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But yeah, that was one of them, and it's crazy because one thing I will say about white folks, they can have a fight in a club and somebody break it up, and then everybody go back. Ain't no shooting. You know
Back
what
to
I
partying
mean?
like
Yeah, they
ain't
can go
nothing
back and have
happened.
fun. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they once they separate them, they just went right back to like,
Mm-hmm.
and that was that. And it was so crazy because I'm like, wait a minute, how the hell did they turn around and still get married the next day or what? After some shit like that. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. When they get to drinking, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. But
Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
I know that.
I was definitely a strip club bull that did not never pay. Like
Where'd you go to Trestles?
uh, uh my strip club stomping grounds was Club
And that
Moet,
ain't never been my
Dutch
thing.
Bar. What'd you say, Murph?
Oh, I just said that's never been my thing. If I want to see somebody naked, we got to
What?
be
I
in a.
thought I thought I thought I was gonna get it. I thought I was gonna get a story out of you, man.
No,
I thought I was.
I ain't never been
All right,
into that.
all right. Uh, so now you can answer this question for me. So, do the majority of women like male strippers? Because I'm giving it a 50-50. I would think they would do, but a lot of women don't. So, like, do you think the majority of women like male strippers, or
Um,
no? Or you can just speak for yourself. I don't know.
I speak for myself and like the people I know. Like I was the one in my crowd that didn't do the stripper thing. I had to be the nut that wasn't into it. I also don't like porn. Like I've never been a porn watcher. My thing for me it was always if I can't get it, I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
So, so porn and strip clubs was never
What
my
I hear
get
is some of the women was getting it with the strippers. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
which
they
is
would,
crazy in itself.
they would.
But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But that ain't been my. And then like I don't want their sweaty bodies on me.
Hmm.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, it's
Because
the
I was
same with
like,
the women.
yuck.
I was never really, really into it like that. Like I said, you had people that would go, but I don't think I ever just up and went, just left home and went to a strip club just
And there are
on a
people that
strength. You
do
know what I
that.
mean? Yeah,
But the girlfriends, hey, let's go see these strippers. And I don't know if they still do, but back in the day they would like go to like bars or and I'm talking about it was like a I forget what the little troupe or
like
group
yeah, a
was
group of them. Yeah, yeah. One of
that
one of the
they
guys
would
I
go to
grew up
like
with
different
was yeah,
bars or
yep.
whatever. And
Hmm.
they're like, come on, girl. I went one time and I was like, and the guy stank. And I was like, don't touch me. And
Yeah, because then
they
they
thought
used
I
to be
was
at Chuck's a lot. What was it, Chuck's or the Impulse? They had a certain night that was the women's night or something
I
like that.
think so.
Yeah.
But I know the one I went to was on it was a bar that was on Cecil B. Moore, Columbia. I
Okay.
forget on the west side of I
Mm.
forget what the name of that bar was, but that's where I was, and I was like,
Oh,
mm-mm. And I was like, I ain't missing nothing. And again, if we ain't getting busy, what I need to be here for, but
mm.
but my girlfriends, they would love it, and I don't know what it was. This one particular group that they would be at all of their events, and I'm like, not me. Yeah, while you over there, faking the funk, I'ma be over here,
Yeah,
getting me
get it
some
in.
real.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't understand that either,
Yeah,
but it's one of them things. But
yeah. And like I said,
it's
I don't even know if they do that anymore.
hmm
Have those little groups.
is Sid Booker's truck still up there, up that end?
Um, you talking to propane?
I know it's up Propane's way. They still up
Yeah,
there, Propane?
That nigga been
Okay.
there since I was
the Stinger.
Oh, it's nice, man. Y'all going way back.
Let me tell you. Let
hmm
me tell you. Look, since we telling stories,
hmm
I had a birthday party there
At the
one
Stinger?
year. Yeah.
Okay.
And I got so drunk.
What?
What I told people was don't buy me a present, just buy me a
You
drink or
shot.
whatever.
Okay, yeah. That'll do it.
Man, and at that time my drink of choice was vodka and cranberry juice.
hmm
Talk about being lit.
What?
Oh my goodness. And I stopped counting after 15.
Oh, listen.
I was
I'm
lit and
surprised you wasn't in
and
Einstein after that.
I I paid for it.
They
Mm.
could have took you straight to Einstein.
And it would have been straight alcohol coming out of my face.
Oh
Oh,
man.
but oh my goodness, I had such a good time that night, just partying and
Yeah.
yeah.
Those was the spots though, like Chuck's Impulse Stinger, what was Jared's Lounge? Uh
Hmm.
Back in the day, what was it, the Palmer? Remember Palmer Social Club?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was
Yeah.
the spot for a little bit.
You
Mm.
talking propane? I
hear
can't
me?
hear. I can
What'd you
hear
say?
you now.
Oh my. Okay,
Now
nah. I said truth. I said
Yo,
truth said the whole name. I ain't know it. I ain't know it was Palmer Social Club. I just always
yeah, that's
called it Palmer's.
the
yeah,
palm.
yeah, Palmer Social Club. Yep.
I, that was Palmer's Chrome and was it Transit across the street?
Yeah. But see, back when they
Ah,
was popping though, I was out of I was out of the game by then, and even me and my husband weren't even going out. When those were popping. You know, I think in their heyday or in their prime, I was probably a tamed woman.
Yeah. hmm
He
for the
tamed
most
me
part. For the most.
for the most
Yep.
part.
Now,
Yeah.
did y'all ever go to the Greek?
No,
Oh man,
no,
I
I never really did
I've
it
never
either.
been.
yeah, I probably did it on. I probably did it one time. I did it like one time,
Okay.
Mm-mm.
and
Yeah, and that was
yeah, and it was just
right up our
crazy.
Hey,
way, but I
RMC,
just
thank you for
wasn't really
dropping
into it.
down. Or stop and slow. No, I never went there, but I had like friends and family members that went to the Greek. Not
hmm
my
I
thing.
ain't gonna hold
Yeah.
you. I had a so when I went to the Greek that one time, right? You know what I mean? So I'm just walking around. I'm seeing, all the Greekish shit going on. So
Mm.
we walked down this one block, and it's nothing but transmissions
Oh Lord.
down there. Yeah, and I'm like, yo, what block is this? Like, hold on. But then I keep walking because we were trying to find the store, and I see my cousin standing in front of the store.
What?
I'm like, yo, what's up, cuz?
Oh,
What's up? You feel me? I'm like, I'm like, what's up, cuz? He just acting weird for some reason. I'm like,
Man.
I'm like, why, cuz? acting weird. He not acting like how he normally act when we see each other. And then
Hmm.
once I caught on, I said, "Oh, I caught you, cuz you into
Wow,
Mm.
that
that's crazy.
transmission shit." I
But
said,
but
"Okay, now I just."
disclaimer, not that there's anything wrong with that. Disclaimer, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause my brother's a Kappa, so he was out there all the time, but I was never
Mm-mm.
into that, you know.
No.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. And after that, I said, "Nah." And then, yeah, a girl got her ass beat down there and all that too. I said, "Man, this shit crazy, man." Matter of fact, matter of fact, no, I think I went there twice, and then the second time I was driving, and I had the drop top down, and one of
Mm.
these hating ass motherfuckers threw a soda in the drop top. I
Yo.
Oh
said, "You know
man,
what, man?"
yo, he had the
Mm.
white Jetta back with back in the day.
Like,
Uh.
like he, like, cause, like, the crowd is just walking up. So I'm coming down the street. I got the
Mm,
music blasting, about to get a fine because you can't blast the music and shit.
yeah, yeah.
But what I mean, I still had my. I wanted to be seen. I'm out here, man.
Okay.
Mm.
When somebody threw a full bottle of Sun Kiss in my car, cause man,
What?
I say, you know what, niggas is just hating. Let me get out of here,
Wow.
man.
Yeah, that's
Like,
listen, I'm sure that was after all them videos surfaced of the one in Atlanta at Freaknik, you know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, oh yeah,
That was yeah, but
yeah. They should
Greek
be mad though. They shouldn't be mad. I seen all the all the ladies that was on the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that was when y'all was young. Y'all way older now and shit. Like, who cares? Like,
yeah, yeah. But people was out there between especially well in Philly between the Greek picnic and the and Penn Relay weekend when everybody was in town, so
yeah, I
Mhm.
hated. Yeah, I hated all that shit. I hated all that. I don't like when our city get together. I don't like it.
uh,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure y'all can feel me on that. I don't like it. Like, I don't like it.
I just didn't like the crowds. I was never no crowd person. Whether it was, you know what I
Yeah, me
mean, whether it was one of the, you know what I mean, one of those, or I was living in
in my opinion.
like
Hey,
by
hey,
for a little bit
excuse,
when
excuse me,
I'm sorry.
Hey, honey
unadulterated.
No,
bunny.
no problem. Go ahead, sis.
How you doing, hon?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Good to speak to you. We haven't spoken in a while. You know, I wasn't feeling what was going on, but that's not the time or the place. I did come up here to say, you got your first show, love. So, are we blocking or what? Or do we need to replay the intro? But we're not doing that over here.
What happened? What I missed?
I
That
just
I'm not
that show
I,
watching
that
the chat.
I
the
saw
troll
the
that was in here.
comment that somebody
Yeah,
said something about showing the ugly faces. I banned them.
right.
That's
Okay,
it, and
so
that's
we
all. We ain't doing that
okay,
over
so we
here.
block it. All right, who
Yep.
we blocking? All right, darling. That's all I needed.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Oh,
Oh
honey.
yeah,
Okay,
I,
address
I,
that.
I missed the I missed the bullshit, man. Damn.
Oh, I didn't see it either. I wasn't paying no attention.
yeah, I
Yeah,
caught it.
we talking and shit. Fuck, man, I missed that shit. February,
But yeah,
February is coming now.
when they had what's the thing on South Street? The African festival. I always forget the name of the
Adjunte? Or you
Adunde.
talking about
Adunde. Yeah,
Adjunte?
because I was living right at 22nd and St. Albans when they used
Mm-hmm.
to have, so I don't like those crowds either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's too much potential for something crazy to jump
Yeah.
off for me, especially
Yeah.
if you got kids out there and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and all you
Mm-hmm.
need is for one knucklehead to do something, and you got a
That's
what I
all
mean
it
whole
takes.
crazy situation to deal with.
Yeah.
Yo,
And all it takes.
South Street is not the same, yo.
But see, I didn't hang out. I never hung out on South Street myself. No, I guess a lot of things that weren't my get down.
Hmm.
Like that. I guess
Hey,
like the You would think Philly people do
You
or
do?
have
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't into
Yeah,
that.
me
Yeah,
neither.
South
Like,
Street was cool, but
uh,
just it just depended on when you went. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because I guess the white folks know to get in and out during the daytime. You know what I mean? Whatever little
yeah,
restaurants and stuff they was
yeah.
gonna go to, especially like by Old City or what have you.
have your
City
fun, cause
Hill.
them niggas is coming.
Yep, yep. By 8 o'clock, they out of Dodge. You know,
Yeah.
especially on the weekend, they might hang out you might catch them down there during the week, but you know what I mean. Once weekend come, they in the house by 8.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I remember like Friday or Saturdays where I'd just be bored. I'd be like, man, I'm about to just ride down South Street, and I zoom down there, and as soon as I get to that first block of South Street, that's when I'm going
Hmm.
slow as hell, trying to be seen and shit. Like, just
and
in
you
the
know
way,
what?
in the
Now
way.
Now that I'm thinking about it, hey DC, thank you for stopping in. I say that I didn't, do the regular stuff that the Philadelphia folks do and the crowds and everything, but I would sure be out at them basketball courts at night,
Oh my god.
partying with the folks. But at any moment at when the guys are playing basketball,
Yeah,
something could jump
it was
off.
always something. And I used to play at Star Gardens down like off of right by South Street on Lombard. It was not Lombard.
Okay.
Yeah, before you get to South, like 10th. It was one at 10th and Lombard. Another some other course at 6th and Lombard. I used to. Now that was when they had. You remember when they had that shootout? Now I wasn't down. I was playing down there then, but I wasn't playing that day. You remember when they had the shootout with the JBM and the boy got shot up?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
So like you said, I used to be down there a lot, but I wasn't down there when
And
that
I remember
happened.
JBM. I ain't mess with none of them dudes. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was living too dangerously.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know
Yeah,
exactly what
So
you
wait,
mean.
Murph. So Murph, can
yeah.
you answer this question for me? Can you answer this other question for me again? There's another question that I was curious about the women about, and you can speak for yourself or not.
Okay.
These gray sweatpants. The gray sweatpants. Is it true that the majority of women love when the males wear gray sweatpants so they can dick watch?
What I'm going to say is, speaking for myself and my little crew, it didn't matter what the color of sweatpants were.
Ah, basically your dick watching. No problem. I just wanted to know. I
Hey,
just wanted to fucking know.
guys, check us out. We were checking them out. Come on now.
And I get it. I'm just asking. That's all. Thank you. I just wanted to know.
What
Uh,
other questions you got for me?
listen. Listen. I'm asking them as they drop in my head.
Mm-hmm. And we
Okay.
would point and whisper to one another. Oh, look at us.
Yeah.
He's working with. Let me go holler at him real quick.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That was back in my
Oh, I've been
wild
going.
days. My wild days, yeah. Yep, you were.
Woo. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh no,
Just
TMK. We
wanted to
didn't
know.
just gaze. What do they call it these days? We was shooting our shot. Mm-hmm. Yep. I was. Everybody has a past. I'm no different than everybody else.
Oh my goodness, you freaky ass ladies.
Well,
God.
I'm married. I'm supposed to be freaky, right? I
Yeah, yeah,
tell folks,
absolutely.
we haven't been together for over 35 years for nothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know how
Go
to
ahead,
keep my.
go ahead, shoot.
Oh, I can't add nothing to Miss Murphy. Her husband.
I'm just trying to change the subject now. I'm just trying to change. I got my answer.
I just say this. I
What you
believe
got
her.
for? Me too. Me fucking too.
Uh,
Cause
she
women,
just
cause
wow.
me personally, me as a guy,
Mm,
women be so like you wouldn't think that they minds is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? But they thinking the same shit, or you know what I'm saying? But I never really thought that your minds would be where our
what
minds be.
what I say is this, women are human just like men. I think that women just are more cool with theirs than men
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, we more cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let me tell you something. And I don't think I ever told anybody in the sector this that I can think of really. But I wrote back in the day. You remember when Zane remember when Zane had all her books and she was making millions
Hmm.
of dollars? I wrote
Yeah.
one of those books.
Did you
I
really?
did it under a pseudonym, right?
Okay.
And that John was, and I
Welcome
didn't I
back.
didn't print it. It was an ebook, but
Okay.
that John was flying, off of Amazon.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
yep.
sure.
I released it. I released it the year that I released it on Valentine's Day that
Mm.
year. And yeah, so yep. And you
Okay.
tell my women's their mind will definitely go there under the right circumstances.
Yes,
So
they do. Yes, they do.
That nigga,
Welcome back,
that
lady.
nigga said
Oh,
professional gazers. That's
this is what I
exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are, Bob. Professional
my husband
gazers,
getting ready
yo.
to die again, and I gotta get back finishing up lunch. But when y'all was
Hey,
talking about the
brother.
sweatpants, honey, that goes on in the Midwest too. We don't care what color the pants are either. So I just want to
Hell, it
throw that
Oh
in
don't
there.
my,
matter.
We
oh
don't care about that either. But
God.
I want to hop on back down
My
there. I do a
my
little.
opinion, wait, my opinion. Did you jump up here to say that? Oh my God. Oh my God. Mm.
Hey,
Professional gazers. I love it.
like I said, we're human. Women are human just like men are. We just cooler about it.
Oh man, hold on a minute. So wait. That's why y'all be at the games then, because the jersey, like it's thin wear, thin clothes.
I'm sorry, say that again.
No, I was saying, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was saying no. That's why they was that's why they be at the basketball games, because the basketball games they wear like thin clothes and shit for the
Action.
professional gazers.
And that's what I didn't mind. Because you out there playing basketball. The stripper sweat, nah. But the dudes out there balling. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Yeah, and I used to be mad as shit. I used to be the same ex that that I had at the motherfucking the incident at City Avenue. She would love
Mm-hmm.
the fucking basketball games and shit. And I just be like, yo, fuck you going to them Jones for, yo? Yo, me and my girlfriend, yo, I ain't trying to hear that shit. No, yo. Like, I
Well,
get
let
it
me say
now. I
this.
get it.
I'll speak for me and my son, me and my crew. I know that that's what we did. Let me not put that on all the women but
Man, that's all the cruise. Fuck no, that's all the cruise. I ain't trying to hear that. That's what she was doing. Or even though she knew what she had at home, that's what the fuck she was doing. No problem.
But see, I didn't have
No problem.
anybody at home. I'm telling you, that was in my wild days before I got tamed. I didn't have anybody, or
Mm,
at least I didn't have anybody that I claimed. I was an independent.
mm, okay.
No, I'm not. I'm
Independent
not.
gazer.
Yeah, I never been a cheater. Mm-mm. If I was done with
Uh,
somebody, no, before I moved on.
But we're not gonna get into my cheating days. Like I already told you, I was a scumbag and I regret it and all that. So
Yeah.
I ain't gotta do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't me. And I never I would be up front with the guys, if you want, dealing with somebody else, do but I was never pressed over anybody, you know. I knew what I was working with and what I could draw in, so hey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We live and we learn.
yeah.
Mm,
Oh, I didn't mean
yeah,
I didn't mean to bring the vibe down. I'm sorry.
no. I just thought about all the people that I hurt and shit, and then got hurt. But like, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and
We was
again,
young.
we're all human.
Yeah, I'm about to say we was young and dumb.
Yeah. But I never wanted to be. It's just who I am. I try to be. I've always tried to be transparent, and honest and upfront. If we were going to be an item, let's put a label on this. If we're
Yeah.
not going to be an item, if you want to do your, and even till this day, I'll say, what we doing, what we doing because if you want to go and have some fun, that lets me know, if I want to go have some fun, or if I want to okay, my opinion, or if I want to have my person on the side, and that's just not me. And even when I was out there, like I said, when the streets was calling me, um I didn't have a boyfriend or whatever, going steady or whatever the labels were. If I wanted to be free, I was being free to do me. And that way, I wasn't hurting somebody else. And I gave, the dudes I was dealing with the opportunity, just be honest with me, if you want to go do something with somebody else, go do I'll be doing my own thing,
That's what's
communicate.
up. That's
Hmm.
absolutely like, cause
And I would
yeah, we
say,
ain't had that communication.
yeah, and to my knowledge, I say that I never cheated on anybody, and to my knowledge, no one ever cheated on me unless they hit it very well, and I just never know. So I'll say
Mm,
that because I communicate. I told you I like to talk. I'll talk about anything and everything, and and then when you're younger, and when my grandparents had told me, it was actually my grandfather who had told me, you know, when I finished high school, don't get stuck on, one boy, you got a whole lot of life ahead of you, have your fun. This what, whatever.
but
So,
so like I was no, actually I wasn't told that all the mothers who daughters I was dating was telling their daughters that about me and shit. And I'm kind of
okay.
thinking like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, how you gonna tell your daughter just go out and have fun if we really, what I'm saying, feeling each other and shit at a
Mm,
young age. You know what I mean? Even though it could possibly be over, but some shit can possibly, you know, be it. Oh, don't
yeah,
just tie yourself down to what you young and all that. Like, huh? This is
yeah.
her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thought that was fucked up because they would always judge me like I would do them dirty, like how I actually did.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like,
And I
no.
was,
Go ahead. I'm
in my independent free spirit, the years when I was just having a ball out there. That's the reason why I didn't finish college when I went, because I wanted to be out running them streets and living the life and
no.
having
That's why I told my mom. No, I told my mom that when I was graduating high school, she was trying to get me enrolled in college, and I was just. It got to the point where I seen she was just trying so hard. I just had to tell her. I was just like, "Ma, I don't want to go to college. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to. Like I'm done. Like, and I think that broke her heart and shit.
really. And
Yeah,
that was something that I didn't, like stress on my children. Like when you finish high school, you have to go to college. You have to go. I let it be a choice for them because everybody's not ready to go
Yeah, yeah.
to
Did you
college.
go to a local college, Miss Murph?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, them days too. But
matter of fact, matter of
I
fact,
got
matter of
so
fact, when
many
I was
memories.
You said
when
what?
I was enrolling with my fault, my bad.
I got my college memories too from back then. Yeah,
Did you go to one of the local, just on the outskirts?
I went. I'm gonna just say I went to a local school.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
She
a
went to
local.
Penn State, nigga. She went to Penn State.
No, I got an idea.
But
Back in that time, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I got some stories from them too that I ain't going to share. But
Oh, wow. That's corny. That's corny. That's real
but
fucking corny of you.
but that my kids, I let that be a decision for
Hmm.
themselves, and two of them went and got went to technical schools and got certifications, and
Hmm.
then and the one is has just been working
Oh, okay.
since high school,
Yeah, and
and I
that's really what it depends on. If
yeah.
their interests or specialties don't require that, then why take on that debt? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and it's a lot of
Just
that.
get right into making some money and building
Yeah,
yourself up. You know.
yeah, yeah. I can take it.
Give me
That
one
shit
second,
always
y'all.
seemed like a big debt to me. Like even though you could use your after you get your credentials and all that, but after
Mm,
it seemed like after everybody get their credentials, they still just be out here like the rest of us and shit. And I'm just like, what did you do the 4 years for? I mean,
mm,
if you're just gonna be in debt and still be working like a regular person. Same with the I
yeah,
don't even want to go this far, but the same with the army people. You know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers get legs blown off and all that, and then they get sent back with probably just Social Security, but it's really they don't give a fuck, yo. Like,
yeah.
get me mad.
There was a lot of waste, a lot of kind of wasted money, but at least when I did decide to go back to school, after the kids were grown, at least I had those credits. Yeah,
Credentials, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, and it's not for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
And like a lot of folks that I went to school with, and I'm talking about high school, they went into the military, one of the branches of the armed forces. Yeah.
So what high school you go to?
I'm not saying that. I don't know why.
Oh
I don't
shit!
know
Oh
why.
Look,
shit!
she's trying to narrow
Oh
you down.
One thing I look first off, thank goodness I'm older than you and you see, so
that's
we
why
wasn't
I'm
running
asking, man.
around in the same circles.
Both of y'all older than me. Like, put me. I'm catch me up, y'all. Like, I'm the youngest. I'm the wolf pup right now. Like, you know, can't tell me what I graduated from Martin Luther King.
I'm not giving that information out.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just know that I had a lot of fun in a lot of places with a lot of people.
What high
Yeah,
school you
he
graduated
gonna pin you
Look,
down to a specific school and
and I've seen both of your faces, and I know that we wasn't running in the same circles. And like I said, I'm a lot older than I'm assuming I know I'm older than Propane, and I'm assuming I probably had like
don't assume. Don't
at,
assume.
at,
Don't assume.
I'm almost 60.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
almost
Respect,
60.
respect. Respect. Now you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Parking company.
What's that?
What's going on in the chat? No, I'm reading the chat. Why
Oh,
is parking company?
now your mic is low.
Did you
Can
ever
you hear
go
me?
on did you ever go on Dancing on Air, Miss Murph?
I did not, but I did watch it.
Okay. Yeah.
I did not do it.
That was right in your era.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yo,
Oh goodness.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
remember Cowboy?
Cowboy. Mm-mm.
Cowboy and Rennie and uh
Were they
all
on
they
there?
had their little group called the Scanner Boys that was all dancers.
No, I don't
Yeah.
remember them.
Yeah, you probably I'm sure you know their faces if you saw them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
So
chant.
since you know a lot of people, you know Lady B?
She went to Masterman. She went to
Okay.
Masterman with me. Now
Oh, okay.
I didn't know her. No, no, and plus she's from Winfield, but I didn't know her. I
Mhm.
know a
Oh,
lot of people that really know her.
okay.
And so at that time, all I was doing was playing ball. I wasn't hanging out or none of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So everybody that was in the clubs, Kim Graves and all that kind of stuff after midnight. And I wasn't really at that time. I wasn't doing it. I didn't really start going to clubs till I was working. I
Okay.
was doing happy hours and all that kind of stuff first before
Yeah.
I even really started going to clubs. But yeah, but I know uh Wendy Clark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she went to
Yeah, I don't know her.
yeah.
But I thought that since you know everybody, I thought you would know her too.
Yeah, they I'm trying to think her and who the heck else? Like do you know D Lee? They used to be on Power 99
No.
With Wendy
Mm,
Williams.
uh-uh.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. I just don't
Oh
know
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He grew up in the next street. It's funny because he was always the kid that while we was trying to play baseball in the driveway and he's
Hmm.
driving his big wheel up and down, refusing to get the hell out the way. You know what I mean? So
That sound like
yeah,
me.
so I know him for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that sound
Did you
like
know?
me. I remember when I was my, my fault, my bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, D Lee sound like me because I remember when I was little, I didn't even know, but my sisters brought it to my attention. Like I was little, but the people who was on my block was a little bit older than me, and they would be riding their bikes, and I would just be running right behind them in my pamper with a yellow truck. You know what I mean? Trying to keep up with them and shit. Yeah, I mean, just trying to keep up with them and shit. Like I'm out
Mhm.
here, and then I graduated to the big wheel. Felt a little,
Okay.
felt a little empowerment, and then I got my first mountain bike, and that's when the Terminator first came out. So then I bought some sunglasses and started driving around the neighborhood like I was the Terminator.
What? Mm, wow.
So wait, so fuck that. No, so when Juice came out, I said, okay, well now I'm in the Juice era. I started dressing like GQ, got my cut like GQ, and then I just started running all around the neighborhood because every Juicy was a.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh man, funny
Juice.
shit, yo.
Hmm. And you
Woo.
mentioned shoes. You know, back in those days, folks used to say my husband looked like Tupac.
What? Okay.
Yeah,
Is he from Philly too?
yeah, he is.
Okay.
Hmm. Yep. I didn't see it, but you know,
Mm-mm.
other folks say he looked like Tupac.
Mm-mm. So you
I,
said y'all gonna
I
be out
mean,
of
I'm gonna
town?
just say,
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Propane.
No, real quick. I was just gonna say everybody who they get to act like Tupac always fails. Like it can't nobody imitate Pac, man. Like the nigga was just a genuine nigga, and when people imitate him wrong on camera, it really grinds my gears and scuff my tunes, man. But
It's corny.
go ahead, shoot.
It's corny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
shit is like y'all niggas better know how to emulate if you going to emulate a great like. But no,
yeah.
go ahead, true.
Yeah, I think they just, because you got people that, um, like I said, any slight resemblance, and they're told that, so they don't, they're more interested in somebody in terms of casting. They're more interested
Mhm.
in casting somebody that looks like him instead of somebody that can act. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
so the acting is, what I mean, sucks.
Subpar.
Yeah, yeah. If they ever get somebody that could do both, then
Mhm.
then they might have some, because his story, it's he got a hell of a story. It's a lot of
Mhm.
stories out there, people with great stories
Yeah.
that can be told.
Mhm.
Denzel did an incredible job acting like Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Denzel did an incredible job doing Training Day. That was, yeah.
Yo, everybody like that John. I don't like that John like that. Here we
What?
go. Y'all probably be like, "Oh, pro, see." Yo,
Mhm.
I don't like that John like that.
I think,
I don't.
I guess to me, having lived in both places, having lived in LA and seeing the landscape in it, and interacting with like the Mexican people, all that kind of stuff, the way they portrayed it. I forget what the heck the director's name. I know that his name skips evades me right now, but yeah, that was a hell of a movie, man. And plus, I think it was loosely based on the guys that because there's so much corruption out there, but just the
Mhm.
fact that they could capture it in the way that they did,
Mhm.
it was and plus the cinematography was pretty good as well. The areas that they went to and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed it. That's one of those movies that you can watch over and over and just pick up little stuff.
Mhm. Yeah. And
Not
you were
for
going
me.
to ask me
You fuck with that John Murphy
what?
training day.
Training Day. It was all
Yeah,
right.
you like.
It was
I about to say
definitely
you like that.
for him.
Yeah,
Hey,
Antoine
truth.
Fuqua.
You like truth.
Mm-hmm.
You like training day over Malcolm X.
To me, it's just two different feels. But I
Yeah.
mean, Malcolm X. I think Malcolm X uh, was a more inspirational movie in a sense that, I think it was something special for
So
Spike Lee.
and that's what pissed me off. They gave him a Grammy for Training Day and not Malcolm X. I'm
But see,
like,
that's all
what?
that stuff is political. They're going to give. I
Yeah.
mean, let's think about
Yeah.
that. They
Yeah.
gave what's the name?
But that's what they say, like
Yeah,
Halle Berry
Halle
when
Berry.
yeah.
Exactly. Halle Berry didn't get
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what for
what's the
Monster
name
Ball?
for yeah
Mm-hmm.
they gave for
Monster
Monsters Ball,
Ball
not
shit.
losing Isaiah. She did. You know what I mean? They're not going to really
Oh
give
my
us
god.
accolades for stuff like that. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
that industry is really. I have they push agendas and they push
Yeah.
corruption. I have
Mm-hmm.
literally been in meetings where they're looking at a project and I have been told, can you, make this character do that or add this character here and put, and all of it is
I'll be right
the
back.
suggestions are all like dysfunctional
All
shit.
right.
And if you don't want to do it, then they'll pass and go to a project that, look at the kind of stuff that they promote both in music and in movies. So that's what it is now. It's been that way for a while. you
Yeah,
know
yeah. I'm about to say this shit is very wicked, man. very wicked, and it's
Yeah, I think
and
she
it's
was good
sad
in
that
both too. Brother of a certain age, but I'm saying but like I said, in terms of what they would rather promote, because Monsters Ball got a whole lot more in terms of push. And what's the name? He's another one that grew up in Philly. Uh, Propane Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels.
oh okay
Lee
okay
Daniels. I went now. He's a little bit older than me, but I know his brother. Me and his brother. His brother when we first moved to Winfield. Me and his brother. I wouldn't call us best friends, but we got pictures together when we was about 7 years old. You know, but Lee Daniels
that
he's
was
out
cool.
there.
That's all.
Yeah, he's he's out there too pushing, some
With the
craziness.
agenda.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
he's
wow.
yeah, but I mean, he's a good guy.
I I only hear Lee Daniels when Dame Dash bring him up. I never really.
Yeah, they
I've
had a
been
falling
trying to
out
get into
over
him.
what's his name,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Butler.
I see he got his own podcast now and shit. So I've been trying to get
Who,
into it
Dame?
because I know he got some info. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I know he got some. I know he got some information to feed. So I
yeah.
definitely need to tap
But
into his podcast.
look at what Lee did with Empire. They, that see and his first.
I can't look at I can't look at what he did. I've never seen Empire. You
You
know
never
this
seen it?
truth. I've never seen Empire.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
Wire, none power, none of that shit.
I only saw the first season of Empire. They went off the deep end. I went to the premiere when they had not the premiere, but like a showing with the cast and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
They had it was at a little place in oh man, it's on the other side of the Hollywood Hills, just when you first get into the valley. But yeah, but all them people I saw, Charlie Mack was there, a bunch of
Yeah.
them people, same people was
Oh,
there.
Charlie.
Yeah.
I picked it up below. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's like I said, that whole thing is like I said, the industry is
Them niggas
wicked.
is gatekeepers, man.
Oh yeah, trust me. Trust me when I tell you, they are. There are absolutely gatekeepers
Hmm.
there. And you know, certain stuff that, if you're not with it, you ain't gonna go but so far. It's
Is
not to
that
say
like?
that you can't be successful, that you can't make money, none of that. I'm not saying that, but
Hmm.
almost, there's so many people that have been compromised trying to reach
Mm,
certain heights. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So,
Hmm.
and if you're
Now,
willing to compromise your morals, then they'll play ball with you.
and are you talking like quote unquote casting couches
Yep,
or
absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
hmm,
Yeah.
and pushing an agenda?
hmm
That's deep.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about I'm supposing how much you're willing to like you were saying your morals, compromise your morals and what you can and can't live with.
Yep. And you remember the interview with Dave Chappelle when you know what I mean? I forget the guy's name that he sat on the couch with the guy, real old
You
white
talking about
guy,
the old you talking about the yeah, the white
old white
the
guy.
brown
Yeah,
head
yeah,
white boy.
exactly. Yep. And he said, know your price
Yes.
before
Hmm.
you get out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if if they're asking more than what you're willing to give, then you got to be ready to turn it down.
Yeah.
You know, so but like
And
I said,
would you become would they would then become blackballed? Like if they don't want to play that game,
I've
get
seen
blackballed.
people, I've seen people, and that came to the table with something that made perfect sense, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and because they weren't willing to make certain changes or wasn't willing to do whatever stuff, that it gets shut down. You know, it gets shut down. And then other stuff, as a writer, the kind of stuff that for the most part is going to be successful for the most part. And then when you look at inferior stuff on television or in the movies, it's like,
Right.
okay, you know how this got, and
Right.
then when you know the executives behind the scenes and what some of the stuff that some of them are into, you know how certain people got put in place. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Now think about this.
That's a
Think
damn
about
shame.
how when think about the time, the transition, I say
Mhm.
around maybe 2008, 2009, when
Mhm.
everything was Cat Williams, Cat Williams, Cat Williams,
It
right?
was.
And
Mhm.
then he did that little thing, that little bit in his talking about the party, the mansion parties, and opening the door and seeing shit that he wasn't supposed to
Mhm.
see.
Right.
That was the end of Cat Williams, and that was the
Mhm.
beginning of Kevin Hart,
I forgot about that.
right there.
Mm.
But see,
Wow.
Kevin was he'd been out and he's been in LA for years, but now, he was in little bit roles here and there. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
you know, Kevin was at that point before that whole Cat Williams switch over. Kevin
Uh,
was promoting like little comedy shows on. He was sending people DMs on Facebook. I probably
mm.
still got DMs from Kevin. Yo, I'm gonna be performing at such and such and such. He was literally sending out stuff on Facebook trying to promote his
Right.
stuff. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, once his shit took off, it was, you know what I mean? Yep.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
he got all the stuff that was lined up initially for Cat Williams.
Damn.
Mm.
And how
Damn.
long
So
did
is
it
there
take Cat?
anybody from Philly?
The
Is
more
there
you
anybody
know.
from Philly that's credible?
That's credible? I
Yeah, like
mean,
I can't like
Or
I mean, the thing about
um
it, the people that I know, um, I mean, the whole thing with Will
mhm.
and Charlie, because see, Charlie got ran out of LA for several.
Oh,
He wasn't
really?
allowed back in LA for a long time. Yeah,
Mhm.
he crossed the guy. He
Mhm.
got smart with the wrong person at the wrong time.
Right.
He had to get out of town for years,
Mm.
but that was just one of those things. But all of those guys, it was some behind the scenes guys, but I don't want to speak on because I didn't
Yeah.
know for
Yeah.
certain, you know what I mean. But I know guys that got put in position. Well, Tron was out there for a while. Omar has been in LA with Will for years, and but the thing about those guys is that most of them, and even Bilal, because you remember in his interview, Bilal said, he was working with Will, but he was taking advantage of the time to make other connections and do other stuff.
Right.
Remember, I was telling
Right.
you about he was selling watches. He was
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
jewelry.
I was about wait, hey, true. So wait, is Bilal do Bilal own that food store
You talking about the
on like
one
what
on
is it?
what's no, I don't think that's his. I'm pretty sure you talking about the one up by Cheltenham Mall.
Yeah. What is it? I can't think of
Uh,
it's past not not Cedarbrook, but it yeah. Well, you
Cedarbrook
know it.
Mall, Cedarbrook Mall.
Bilal's
That's right, Cedarbrook. Yeah, I don't
Cedarbrook.
think that's
Yeah.
his. Yeah, because that's been there. That's been there for years and years and years and years. You know what I mean? I think that was. I don't think that was his. I don't think that's his. If I had to
Mhm.
say, and I never heard him even mention that place, to be honest with you. But when he was living in LA, he was doing product placement with stars. I knew he was because like I mentioned to you, Miss Murph, the last time I saw him was in the lobby of the Four Seasons, and he
Right.
was showing me these watches,
Mhm.
and but he was selling those to. I'm talking about these was like I said, these was 5 and 6 figure watches. In
Mhm.
that interview, he said he kept the jewelry in a locker.
Yeah.
He had
He did.
over $1 million worth of jewelry that he kept in these lockers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, it was funny because we had that conversation a couple of
Yep.
days before the interview
Yep.
came in. That's exactly what I
Uh-huh.
told you. Yep.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But yeah, all those guys now. Omar, you'll probably see. Omar doing what was the name of that show with Jada and Mark Anthony? You remember it was like a hospital show or something like that? Something about,
Yeah, I
you know
remember
the one
it.
I'm talking
It
about? Yeah,
was
Omar was
yeah,
executive producer on that show. Plus
Hawthorne or something like
Hawthorne,
that.
Hawthorne, that's the name of
Yeah.
it. Omar was an
Hmm.
executive producer on that show. Plus he was the one who was also largely responsible for like Willow and the other little boy. I can't Justin. What was the son's name? Um the one that was in Karate
Jaden,
Kid?
Jaden.
Jaden, yeah.
Talking about,
He was kind of like, responsible for those two. So you'll see Omar in pics with Willow and Jaden all the
Hmm.
time,
Okay.
but they all was doing stuff to make other additional money. They wasn't trying to be stars, so to speak. So in terms
Okay.
of them being, compromised in the same way that some of the other people would have been, you know what I mean? Whatever they did was essentially their choice, So
Hmm. Yeah.
thankful I ain't got no compromising stories to tell y'all, cause y'all definitely would have heard them.
I don't have any compromise stories for nothing.
yeah, but it's a lot of people that came and wound up leaving LA. A lot of Philly comedians and whatnot. That kind of stuff. But this it's one of those places because it's expensive to live, and then people have certain expectations that they're going to be on by a certain point in time, and if it don't work out, then they get out of Dodge.
Mm.
I mean, the only shit we had hope for Philly was Philly International, and that shit got shut down.
Oh, now they sold the what's the name? Their catalog is worth millions. It's so
God,
crazy. When I think about all the people I I knew them as children. My grandmother, Chuck
Yeah.
Gamble, Mark Gamble, Terrence
Mhm.
Gamble was what's the name's nephews? There's Kenny Gamble's nephews, right?
Okay.
My grandmother used to babysit them when we was like 4 or 5 years old. I you know
I
I
told you
know.
he know everybody.
Yep, it's so crazy. And matter of fact, Chuck was the one after Kenny Gamble, after they sold a good portion of the catalog. Chuck was the one who did the deal. You remember when The Apprentice came out and they did the OJ song For the Love of Money? Remember that was the
Yeah.
theme song for The Apprentice? Yeah, Chuck
Right.
was the one that did that deal with Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Mm.
So
Wow.
yeah, so
Mm-mm.
he was the president of let me see if I wonder if he's still the president of what's the name? I had actually tried to reach out to him not maybe it was about maybe 2-3 years ago, but I don't think he's on social media at all. I probably had to
is
jump
that
through hoops.
is the studio still down there?
Right on the corner, was that
You
corner of
know?
17th and Pine? I believe, no, not Broad and Pine. I believe it's Broad and Pine on the
Hmm.
southeast
Yeah.
corner of Broad and Pine. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hey, Ms. Murph, I want to hear one of your raps. I ain't gonna hold you.
I
that's what we've been
don't
waiting on.
rap. I told you back in the
Like,
everybody in
I want to
Philly.
hear. I want to hear one of those back in the day rhymes. What?
Nah, I was corny. I
Yo, come on.
wasn't doing no fire stuff. Shout
Oh
out
my.
to Bob Day. Shout out to TMK. That ain't
All
me.
right.
So,
So if I spit my first corny rap that I wrote, would you do one of yours?
no,
Cause
I
my
already
shit,
had
my
me.
first listen, my first rap was garbage. So like we would be equal. Like you wouldn't have nothing to feel ashamed about.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
I said my first rap. I said my first rap was corny, so we would be equal. So you wouldn't have nothing to feel ashamed about if you feel like
Oh
your
man,
shit was corny.
nope, nope, it's
He was
not
trying
going
to
ahead.
drag
It's
you
not
out
going ahead. No, he calling me out. He calling me
yeah.
out.
Uh-huh.
I ain't take.
I I just want to hear it. I just want to hear what I missed. That's all. Like, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
That's funny.
Dang, now I'm being a Debbie Downer again. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. You know. I just wanted to hear it. And you know it ain't gonna go no further than here, so you know what I mean. But nah, whenever you comfortable.
Look, ask UT. He from Philly, so I know he
No,
was
I
doing
never.
this sort of rapping.
I was in the sector the first time I ever wrote a rap. Bombay produced my first
Oh,
rap.
really?
Yeah, heck yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did two
Uh,
songs with Bombay. You
Okay.
know I guess
uh,
the royalty checks is probably still due.
uh,
But yeah, that was years ago. That was what 2021, I think, something like that. My sons cracked up when I sent them that John. uh,
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Mm-mm.
no problem. No problem.
I did a Lennon honor diss track.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
uh,
And, what was
Mm.
the other one? The
Oh,
other
you
one
wrote
was
Drop the Link? You
you said
wrote
what?
Drop the Link? You wrote
I
Drop
wrote
the
the
Link?
original Drop the Link. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
oh shit!
Okay.
What? The
Yeah, you didn't know
motherfucker
that,
who
Bubba?
dropped the link. I ain't know
Yeah,
that. I ain't know
the
that.
original one.
Oh damn!
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
say that just randomly sometimes when I'm not even
It
on the
was
party. I said the party line when I'm
it's
not even
funny because
online.
listening, Bombay it's so crazy because Bombay's ear, he could tell where I was in the house just by listening to the damn. You know what I mean? He's like, you need to go in the closet. But he
Oh.
could tell because I didn't know.
Mhm.
I had never written a rap at all in my life, and yeah, but it was fun. It was fun doing it. It just took me so damn many takes to do it. You know what I mean? But yeah.
I feel like Easy E and shit. Damn,
Mm.
I didn't know you made Drop the Link, dog. Wow, that's crazy. The Drop the Link is a hit in the sector.
And you
The,
said
the
the
the remix the
original, so that
remixes was the hits. Mine was just the experiment. Yeah,
okay.
Oh,
it was
okay.
cool. It came out cool. It was fun. It was fun doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that fucked me up. That I see that fucked up beautiful too. She said, "Say what now?"
Yeah, you don't remember that beautiful? Yep. I
Damn.
think I did. It might have been maybe it
TMK
had to
is
have
very
been.
talented.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, got to give
Yep.
him his props.
6 feet deep. Yep. 6 feet deep was the Lennon honor song. And then I wrote that one first and then I did drop the link.
I don't know what
I don't think I never heard 6 Feet Deep,
yeah. I was going to say
and
I
I would
don't know
love to hear it.
what the hype
Yeah,
for
I will.
Lennon Honor is. I couldn't get into him. I
I never
can't.
under You know what's crazy now? I remember Lennon Honor years ago. And he used to put out a
Mm,
lot of good. This was before the whole Umar thing even started. This had to be around 2011 or 2012. And he was doing documentaries. And he
okay.
did some really good documentaries. Like he did one. He would break down lyrics of songs and like you know meanings behind different lyrics. According to
Oh
his
yeah, I seen that shit.
and then remember he was supposed to do. He had cost up trying to raise all this money to do a documentary on Straight Outta
NWA.
Compton. Yeah, yeah, uh huh.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. I've tried being, listening to his content. I just couldn't get into it. Not for me.
Yeah, so it was,
But it seems like a lot of people in the sector started over there. I don't want to get into sector
yeah,
talk, but
yeah.
yeah,
Yep,
interesting.
a whole lot of
Everything ain't
people.
for everybody.
Propane, the first time I saw you in the sector, you was on Max V's panel with your pimp cup. You, you remember his pimp cup? The bedazzled, the
Yeah,
bejeweled pimp cup?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. I broke that shit by accident. That's why you
What?
don't see it
Oh
no
man.
more. Yeah, I was pissed and shit. Um, so Max V. So yeah, you probably came along after then, cause
Yeah.
I started going over the Maxes after Lemon. So
You said
yeah,
after. Oh, you was on. You was going to Lennon's first.
yeah, cause
Okay.
I ain't know about Max, and then when
Yeah.
Max came, that's when I'm
Okay.
like, all right, well, I guess we over here then. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Because I remember the first time I saw you. You remember that girl that was? I think she was from Germany. We were talking. Somebody was mentioning her just recently. She was from Germany that cussed
What's her?
Flacco out real crazy one night.
Yeah, what's her name? What's her name? Wait. You talking about the same one? Are you talking about the light skinned chick
The
or
light
the
skin.
actual
Yeah, light
girl
skin.
that?
I think it was the light skinned
Okay, so
girl.
I can't remember her name. Her name is on the tip of my tongue. What the fuck is her name, yo? She. Oh, what? Damn! It just went back again. Was
Somebody
not
just mentioned
envy.
her not. No, no, somebody
Yeah,
mentioned her not too long ago. And because I remember you was supposed to Flacco. That was back when Flacco was pretending he could rap, and y'all was supposed to have a rap battle. And the closer it
and
got,
that's what.
the more you realized Flacco couldn't rap.
Yeah, and it got me so pissed because I am like I am offline, so I'm just like not thinking that a nigga is fucking with me or trolling me.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? But when as a matter of fact, I just shared on my community post what's going on with Flacco. Probably like before I even came here or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Apparently,
Mhm.
this nigga talking about some he said, "Thank God for the white man" or some shit. Like he's just over there, just acting a fool. I'm just like, you know what? Well, whatever, man. But yeah, that homeboy is out of pocket, and he doing what he got to do. I guess to
Yeah,
uh
I
put
remember the
food
night
in his bread.
when he first got the ability to go live. I remember when his channel first hit that, and his first live, the first night he went live. That was yeah, that had to be toward the end of 2020, maybe the very beginning of 2021, something like that. But yeah, yo, brother of a certain age, talking about that tall glass of cold Arkansas water. You remember when Corey did that? Was a classic live when Corey first went off, when him and Smoke first fell out. That
I
shit
was
was
rolling.
funny as hell.
What
And that's
That
was
was
you
a
there,
famous.
Miss
funny
Murphy?
ass live.
No, I
Oh my
didn't
god.
step on the scene until 22.
Okay, that was funny as hell. That was definitely a classic live. And he got when he got into it with Stargate too. He he
Yo,
got Stargate out one night about something. But yeah, that was
that motherfucker had candles and smoke pictures. Like I said, yo, what the fuck is this?
Corey.
Like it really felt like it was some demonic shit. Like oh man, and a brother of a certain age, I'm ignoring that other comment.
So I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
I'm sure Propane don't have an answer, but how you think the Eagles going to do tomorrow?
Oh my
So
god.
let him get his answer out the way.
Ah!
Propay gonna say, "Oh, they playing tomorrow?"
I, yeah. No, actually, I was about to say she must want me to drop down. That must be my cue to drop
Yeah.
down. Like,
Uh,
but go
uh,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah. I
No, we
think.
gonna. I'm gonna participate. I'm participating. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna do good for one day at home. Plus, they
Yeah.
started playing good toward the end of the year. The run game started to come back. You know what I mean? And hopefully the
Mm.
offensive line is healthy,
Uh,
and they just
and the
they
calling, you
yeah
know,
yeah
done some better calling.
yeah exactly yo because I was talking to my buddy about that. It's like they get off to a good start, but they don't keep
Mm-hmm.
their foot on their neck.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, you
Mm-hmm.
play the first quarter, then y'all act like y'all winning the fucking freeze frame
Yeah.
the second quarter and the third quarter and want to scramble to make sure you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing that messed up the Ravens. That's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing that
Yeah.
messed up the Ravens. Y'all be acting like y'all can just turn it on when you feel like it. But that the play calling is, you know what I mean? That's crazy to me. Like
Yeah.
how you got all these weapons and you got this offense that's so damn basic, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And want to keep running the same plays that
Yeah.
ain't working.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but
Ridiculous.
I think they're going to win because I think when it comes down to it, they got more weapons than San Francisco. I
Mm-hmm.
think Jalen is a better clutch quarterback than Brock Purdy, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think the one year we lost to San Francisco, they just I think that might they we beat San Francisco and then they came back at the beginning of the next season
Mm-hmm.
and trampled us. But they just got to play physical. They just got to
Yeah.
they definitely got to bully them.
Yeah. I think we have the better team. And
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's going to come down to the play calling.
yeah, yep.
You know, and if they can get that good start, like you said, don't take your foot off their neck.
Yeah, yep.
Keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at first I was
Yeah.
thinking before I knew who they were going to play, I
Mhm.
was like, they ain't even going to make it out the first round.
Well,
But
I,
then I said, okay,
I
go
think
ahead.
in the NFC, they got the best team. They just got to play like it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because you got to figure, okay, Seattle, Sam Darnold, he's having a good season, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody ever seen him really perform in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of those teams especially in the out west, some of them benefited by playing each other because it's a bunch of some weak
Right.
teams out there. So
Right.
their record is kind of because the
Yeah.
Eagles had a hell of a schedule. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So they just
Mm-hmm.
benefited by not having as tough a schedule. So their record is to me is kind of deceptive. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I say. But I won't sleep on Chicago. I think
oh yeah,
Chicago
Chicago's for real
has the
because they got
talent.
a
Yeah.
running game, and that boy,
Mhm.
what's his name, Caleb Williams is playing his ass off too.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, Chicago's for real. Um, but I don't think Green Bay is ready. I don't think Green
Mm-mm.
Bay is ready. So
No.
I think it's depending on the seeding, I think
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
it's gonna come down to the Eagles and Chicago, depending on how the
Mhm.
seed go. But I'm rolling with one of them to win it all. And in the AFC, I'm thinking Houston. Their defense has been bananas lately. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking at. But it's gonna
Well,
be interesting.
it is. I'm gonna be and look, I'm ready for all the football. We got two
Yeah.
I think it's two games today.
You
And
a
then
fight fan, Miss Murph?
no. I had
No.
let me tell you how long it's been since I was into fighting.
Mm,
I probably haven't watched fights since
don't tell me Tyson.
well, I was
That's what I
gonna
was
say
gonna say.
like
Melvin
Lennox
Lewis.
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 You
Okay.
know,
Oh shit.
it's been a
Well,
lot of years since I was in the
okay.
box.
What? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
my
got
thing.
And I got a little story about what's his name? Tim Witherspoon.
Yeah, I know.
You
Well, I
remember
don't know
him?
him, but I know he's from
But you
Baltimore.
know who he is,
Yeah,
right?
of course. Yeah.
So I was at this restaurant one
Mhm.
day, and he came in with his him and his little entourage or whatever.
Okay.
And he talking real smooth to one of the girls that worked there. Now I'm thinking he way too old for her, but do you?
Hmm.
But he whispering her sweet nothings in there, and then he gave her his number and said, "I think you would be a great babysitter for my children." If you could have seen the look on her
What?
face.
mm, mm, mm.
Mm.
Niggas with money say anything, boy. You can't
Yeah.
if you ain't got no money. If you ain't got no money, you can't say no shit like that.
You know what's crazy?
If you ain't got no fucking money,
Yeah,
you can't
money.
just
Yep.
leave messages like that.
Wow. And it's crazy
Oh,
how
I
much
was
money
proud.
he got screwed out of. So much money. It's
I'm
insane.
sure.
He got
I'm
screwed
sure.
because see what happened with
Oh,
him.
baby.
Let me tell you, there was a time when Tim Witherspoon, he was Don King was his promoter and Don King's son was his manager. So
Mm.
they was more than double dipping. He
Of
was for
course.
one, he was taking Don King was taking the promoter's cut. His
Mm-hmm.
manager was taking the manager's cut. Plus, he
Mm-hmm.
was training at their facility, so every little
You gotta
thing
pay
that he
that.
happened, they was
Mm-hmm.
deducting, right?
Yeah.
So I remember he fought this guy named Frank Bruno from England. His
Mm-hmm.
purse was supposed to be like 1.3 million, something like that. After all
Mm-hmm.
the deductions, he wound up taking home like 97,000.
Wow.
Yep.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Just
Don
getting
King. Don King was, yeah, man.
but
Don
he did
King was
he did that to a lot of people
oh
though.
yeah, hell yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm. My
So
husband
My
called
nigga
it
Mike Tyson hate Don King.
graping them, just graping them
mhm.
all over the place. Mm-hmm.
But see, that's because guys don't look at it's crazy because so many people have been raised a fistful of cash beats everything, not realizing
Yeah.
the hell with the cash. Get especially when with Tyson when they showed Tyson at the press conference after the fight, he
Mm-hmm.
holding like a couple of bands. I think they said it was like $500,000, but he didn't
Yeah.
get no pay-per-view points, and they was
Mm-hmm.
selling, you know what I mean, 75, $80 million of pay-per-view
Mm.
revenues
Mm.
and whatnot. You know what I mean? But guys just didn't know. You get
Everybody
on
getting rich but the boxer.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And I
Fucked up,
think that's
Wow.
man.
that's how it is in like the music industry
Oh
too. Like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't do your research and if you don't know, you get
Listen,
burnt.
it's like that in movies.
All this streaming shit, they cut out the CD because the CD you can make money yourself. But now all this streaming shit, you don't know how many numbers all that men
Mm-hmm.
lie, women lie numbers don't. Yes, the fuck they do. I ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. It's
Like,
the same
streaming,
way in
streaming
movies.
is a gag. Cause matter of fact, Snoop said, he put it out there. He was like, he did over 1 billion streams or something like that, and he was like, oh, okay, so how much money is that? And then it only
Mm-hmm.
came up to a couple thousand or something.
Damn shame.
Yeah. Hmm.
I said,
You
huh?
gotta understand the
And
business,
this is
especially in
Snoop though.
any
Yeah,
kind of show
streaming is a gag
business.
too.
You gotta understand the business aspect of it, or somebody's gonna get you.
Yeah.
So
Have somebody trusted. Because everybody can't be trusted. Even though they're supposed to have your best interests in mind, they're going to put their best interests
hmm
ahead of yours.
yep.
And the
Shame.
crazy part is that's when the ass kicking come in, that, and then the suing and all that. You know what I mean? Because you got your ass kicked for doing
Mhm.
But let me
Shiesty
tell you
business
something.
or
You know
whatever.
how hard it is because I've been in that situation. I've been
Mm-hmm.
in that situation when you have something and you just a dude and you
Mm.
trying to sue whether it's Universal or whatever.
The
In
machine.
my case, it
Mm-hmm.
was Paramount. Everybody in the sector. I probably mentioned this before. Everybody in the sector has seen at least two movies that I've written in either
Okay.
in the theaters or on television.
Mm-hmm.
And
Put them out there. Put them out there. Let me know.
I'm not doing all
No.
that. but
Ah, shit.
but the thing
What's up
about
with
it
you and
is,
Murph? Murph not letting me hear her rap. You not letting me hear the
but
movies that you produced.
I was in a
Yeah, but he might have
situation.
got burnt though.
Yeah, I was in a situation where I wrote a movie and we was they wanted all these rewrites done and
Mm-hmm.
literally they gave me more money to do the
Nigga, don't
rewrites.
tell me you wrote Philadelphia.
No,
Not
no,
Philadelphia to Tom Hanks.
no,
All
no.
right.
But what happened was by the time that the movie, they had approved everything.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount wasn't on, but by the time the production company was happy with everything, Paramount wasn't happy. And
Mm-hmm.
then about 2 years later, the same company wound up putting the movie that I wrote. They switched up a couple of things, and they
Wow.
wound up putting the movie out. And so it was like trying to sue Paramount is like, I don't want to say trying to sue God. That's a sacrilege, but
But yeah.
you know what I mean? When you just a regular person trying to go up against that type of
Mm-hmm.
machine,
Yeah.
chances are either you gotta have money or patience or both.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is they're tricky. They know if they plan on, what I mean, if they plan on stealing some shit, especially when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
movies, they'll change just enough
Mm-hmm.
so that you know what I mean. So
And I've heard that. I've heard other people say that. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
And I want to
Oh
say,
no.
go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say Nikki Gilbert. If you're familiar with her, she was in one of the members of Brownstone.
Hmm.
But I know she's been in litigation with the P Valley people. P
I
Valley,
heard about that. Yeah. Uh huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I believe she said it went all the way to the Supreme Court. But
What?
she was fighting a losing battle all these years and all the money that
Yeah.
she
You spend trying.
had
Yep.
to
Exactly.
spend. Yeah, and still ended up losing. But for her, she said it was the principle of it, and she was fighting the fight, for the little people,
Hmm.
and to not let it. But she from the beginning she was fighting an uphill battle.
Yep. And
Yeah,
it's a violating feeling. I'm telling you. I told
yeah.
my manager. I said, listen, if anything else of mine gets stolen, I said I'm going up in the office. I said I just asked that y'all put some money on my books. You know what I mean?
Some
Fuck
furniture
that.
getting
Yeah.
moved. Almost
Just
some
put some
furniture.
money on my books and look out for my family because I'm going up in the office. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen.
I can dig it,
No.
man.
I I said this on my channel before, but I sent a jingle. I sent the Nike Air Force song a jingle to Nike, and
Mhm.
they sent me a letter back saying we don't take we don't take what is it, outside solicitors or some shit like.
Yeah, yeah. They don't take
Mhm.
And it
unsolicited.
was
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
'cause they don't take
but my
unsolicited
whole
material.
school, exactly. And my whole school heard this Nike jingle I made. And then when I sent it to them, and then they sent me that back, my whole school seen, what I just said. And
Mhm.
then like a month later, Nelly comes out with the Air Force One song.
What?
Everybody was like, yo, Wolf.
Mhm.
Well, they wasn't calling me Wolf back then, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They were like, yo, he stole your shit, yo.
Mhm.
And I'm just
Wow.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, just because I'm an outsider, you're not going, like, didn't y'all hear the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the potential of the jingle. Like you wouldn't want to
Mm,
bring me in to make this shit better. Stop
mm.
being so fucking inner circle type and shit.
But
Like
that's what they do. That's what they do.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, even when with one of the scripts I wrote, right? The I was writing with a guy, and they actually assigned me a writing partner. Now, I wrote the original script. The original deal that was done was based on my script. But see, once they pay you for
Mhm.
the script, they can ask for different
Okay.
changes because they own the material at that point. So they
Ah.
give you some notes and say, all right, can you change
Mhm.
this and add a character that does this, that, and the other, right? So
Mhm.
they actually assigned me a writing partner to work with me, right? So I'm thinking it's going to be a
Mhm.
guy who got some experience. Come to find out, he had never wrote nothing before his damn
Wow.
self, right?
Mm.
So what happened was we was working against a deadline,
Mhm.
and so we had decided in the rewrite I was going to take because I created the character, so I knew them better. So I was like, all right,
Mhm.
you know what they want. I'm going to take the first act and the third act, and
Mhm.
I'm going to do like the rewrite on that, and you work on the second act, and then we'll kind of reconvene and see where we're at, and we'll go from there, right?
Mhm.
And it was a comedy, right? So what
Mhm.
happened was when he sent me the changes that he had made in the second act, right? And I'm
Mhm.
reading the shit, and all he did was pull little scenes from other old movies and just change shit and
Mm.
put like some slang in it and all, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
Mm.
wait a minute, ain't this from such and such? You know, like as if he did it like I wasn't gonna notice. Like, wait a minute, this shit
But
sound
isn't that
familiar.
plagiarism?
That's my point exactly. That's the whole exactly. That's my whole
Yeah.
point, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
we can't turn this shit in like this.
Mhm.
You think these people
Mhm.
are in the movie business? They know they're gonna recognize this the same way I recognize this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but they made me work with them. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
yeah, so they will put some friends in place to make a couple of dollars, especially once a project. That was one of the most frustrating things because once
Mhm.
the project was announced, because they had written an article about it in the Hollywood Reporter and all that kind of shit. So
Mhm.
once that happens, everybody wants to have some kind of input, and everybody's trying to get one of their friends on to get them a paycheck and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. And you can't really do, until you're at an executive level where you
Mhm.
can negotiate like, hey, I'm writing this. This is my project, but I want to be executive producer, at least an executive producer or a producer on it, where you
Mhm.
have some say so about the creative direction.
Right.
If you
Mhm.
just the screenwriter or story by, you know what I mean? If you just
Don't have
one of
any
those,
power.
you don't got no power at all. You just got to do take the money and do what they tell you to do.
Yeah. Now, are
Mhm.
you able to copyright your material?
Yeah, the copyright is only um it's enforceable until you really, I guess, until you sell it
So you
essentially,
sell it?
because once you
Okay.
sell it, they own it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If they
Yeah.
pay you $200,000 for a script or whatever it might happen to be, or
Mhm.
even if they option it, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Now, once the option expires, the property reverts back to you. But if you
Okay.
sell it, if you sell the script outright, that's
Mhm.
theirs. They could, you know what I mean? They could make the movie with it, or they could take it home, take the script home, and use it for toilet paper if they
Right.
want to.
Mhm. Yeah, I was interested in that because I was thinking about Propane sent his jingle in, and don't know how many hands it passed through, and I don't had you are you able to wait? Did you copyright it or anything like that? Because that was just an opportunity for anybody and everybody to steal your material.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you copyright it, Propane?
Hello.
Yeah, he might have stepped away.
Yeah, maybe
But
he
see, a
stepped.
lot of times people don't, especially when you're new. He mentioned being in school. So a
Yeah.
lot of times early on, people don't, they skip by
Yeah.
the
And I don't know.
really most
Yeah.
important parts of ownership and keeping, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I've been there, trust me.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was let me tell you how I was really fortunate
Mm-hmm.
was because I was doing the same thing. I was sending my script out, right? And just hoping for the best. And
Mm-hmm.
I got real fortunate. You remember the old actor Gregory Peck?
Yes.
His son Tony,
Mm-hmm.
uh and how I met Tony was like the craziest thing. I had sent my script to this entertainment lawyer named Robert Temple. And
Mm-hmm.
um I had called and made sure they got it. And I had talked to the assistant. So the
Mm-hmm.
assistant was like, oh, and what Propane said, we don't accept unsolicited material, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, well, I don't really, and I was still in Philly at the time. So I'm like, well, listen, I don't really know nobody that's going to, basically, it basically means somebody got to vouch for you. You got to be able to say, oh, so and so, in your letter, you got to be able to say, so and so had me, or so and so's got to call and say, my buddy, unadulterated is sending a script to you. So that's,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. In that case, they'll read it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I called the office and I was talking to his assistant and I was like, he gave me the whole we don't accept unsolicited material, yada yada yada, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I told the guy, I was like, I don't really know nobody out there at that point. And I said, well, I said, would you mind taking a look at just read the first 5 pages, right? And it was a
Mm-hmm.
comment. So he's like, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll read the first 5 pages. If I like it, I'll read the rest. And if it's up to par, I'll recommended to Mr. Temple to read it for you,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, cool, cool. That's all I need, right? So didn't hear from him. And what happened was about a month or two, I said about 2 months later, I got a voicemail like, "Hi, Mr. So and So. You don't know me,
Mm-hmm.
but my name is Tony Peck. I just got finished reading your script. It's called The Godmother. Just got finished reading your script, The Godmother. I love this, and I want to talk to you about working with you on it." Right? So I was like, "What the heck?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "I don't remember sending no script to nobody. I don't even know a Tony Peck." Right? So I
Mm-hmm.
called the number back and we were talking. He's like, and come to find out, he was a client of the entertainment lawyer, Robert Temple, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was in the guy's office waiting for him to finish up a phone call. And he said the guy had 2 stacks of scripts on his desk, 2 feet tall. And
Wow.
he just happened to pick mine up out of all the scripts that
Mm.
was there. He just happened to pick mine up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he
Uh-huh.
said he started reading it and he loved it. He asked him, could he take it home to finish it?
Uh-huh.
And that was how he wound up calling me. Me and him like became buddies. This guy opened up so many doors
Wow.
for me, you know. And it's funny
Isn't
because when
that
we finished
something?
the call, toward the end of the
Mm-hmm.
call, I said, I really appreciate the fact that you liked it. I said, but let me ask you. I said, I would be kicking myself if I got off the phone without asking you. I said, Hollywood and Peck. I said, are you related to the actor Gregory Peck? And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's my father. And I was
Mm.
like, get the hell out of here. So he was married. You remember the cover girl Cheryl Teagues?
Yes.
He was married.
Yes.
Tony was married to Cheryl Teagues. But
Mm.
like I said, he invited me out to LA and he opened up so many doors for me. It was crazy. And that was
Nice.
really the beginning of me getting in and meeting like, I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about going into studios and agencies and, all that kind of stuff. All because his father was a Hollywood legend, right? And
They
his
say
place,
everything happens for a reason.
yeah, yep. His
Mm-hmm.
house, let me tell you, Miss Murph, his house was literally I say about a block and a half from the house that Michael Jackson died in. It's on a street called Carrollwood, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That house when you look at the images of that house from above, it looked like the White House.
Yeah.
That place. So he sold it because he wound up moving up in the Hollywood Hills. But when he
Mm-hmm.
sold that place, he sold it for like $19 million. But that was where they grew up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But people, even though, you know what I mean, he had really stopped like writing and producing and all that kind of stuff himself years
Mm-hmm.
before that. But the name Peck in Hollywood opens up doors. And he's
Wow.
just, all right, just meet me at such and such. We're gonna go and we're going out to lunch with so and so. And that was how I rolled for the longest time.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. That's
Yeah. So
amazing. Everything happens
yeah,
for a
it does.
reason, you know?
Yeah,
Oh
for
my
sure.
goodness.
Hmm.
That's wonderful. I told you, you know everybody.
Listen, it's just called being
You
old. That's all. Uh, that's all that is. And for just being fortunate to be in the right place at the right time sometimes, I guess.
exactly.
You know. But I enjoyed it. That's all. But listen, you've been on for the longest. You've been
I
on since the morning.
have. It's almost 3 o'clock and I
Mm.
ain't take nothing out yet for these football games.
Yeah, I'm about to do the same
I
because
gotta get
I'm.
ready to get in that kitchen. I when I did the little break, I had to let my dog in. He was out there
Mm,
crying. I didn't realize
okay.
it was raining. Yeah. I gotta
But
get
listen, it has been a pleasure. I
always
appreciate
a
talking with you.
pleasure, my brother.
Yeah. Shoot.
Always. And you got
You got me,
stories
you got me
for days.
feeling about coming up on panels a little more often without. I ain't got to worry about nobody hollering and screaming and
That's
threatening to
right.
pull up and all.
Yeah,
We
we
got
don't
this.
we don't do that over here.
Yeah,
Conversations,
yeah.
just
That's what's
chilling
up.
out. And
That's
I
what's up.
really, when I thought I was only going to be on here again for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour.
Mhm.
I had my two little talking points that I wanted to do, and I just let the show go where it was going to go.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what's up. But listen, I will let you
Yeah.
go,
Okay.
and
Always great talking to you and seeing you.
my pleasure. Okay, and I will holler at you soon. Okay, peace to the chat.
All right. Take
Okay,
care.
talk to you. Okay, all right.
You calling animal abuse? Oh, thank you, beautiful. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. That was 3.5 hours. And my so my little I think my little talking points was only in like the first hour, maybe. Oh well, so hopefully, those, watching the replay, those that are here, if you missed it or not, um, go back to the beginning. Um, Shout out to TMK for the umpteenth time for my intro. I love it. I can't stop talking about it enough. The little talking points I had for interviewing. Thank you so much, Joe, and my opinion for coming up. Thank you, me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming up. Just when I was, looking at the chat and out, it seems like, folks were really, really vibing with us. And, I am so appreciative of everyone's, support. You could have spent your time anywhere, but you spent it with me, little old me. Um, I'm a talker. What can I say? So, more conversations to come. If you haven't seen the intro yet, I'm going to be playing it again as the outro. Hit the like button if you didn't like it. Hit the thumbs down. But it's definitely a vibe over here, and I'm going to prepare this food for these football games we're about to watch. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you sometime soon in these YouTube streets. Peace out.
Let's go. Woman out of Philly, so you know it get really wrong. Know you gon' relate to everything when you hear us talk. Came up out of city where you learn from every single scar. Cherish all our wins, cause we not a stranger to the loss. I was just a girl, just focused on surviving. I done grown up in womanhood and started thriving. Here we cherish love, marriage, commitment. City where it's brotherly love, don't want division. Maturity is something I want, then I'm consistent. Something I want, I'm gon' get it. I learned to have intention and movement with purpose. Learn it if it costs you your peace, it isn't worth it. Honoring the lessons that turn into legacy. The past is what made me a more for what's ahead of me. Walking in alignment, every step is meant to be. Womanhood and love, it's not a trend, it's the recipe.